This is Thursday Night Lights. Get set for tonight's big game as the Clemens Buffaloes look to stampede their way to victory over the high-flying Stevens Falcons. Stay tuned for the area's best coverage of live high school football on TNL.
Live at Gustafson Stadium, this is Thursday Night Lights. Go Falcons!
It's time for Church's Chicken, Thursday Night Lights, presented by Baptist Emergency Hospital.
Welcome to Marvin C. Gustafson Stadium on San Antonio's northwest side, and welcome to Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. Tonight, a good one. It's the Samuel Clemens Buffaloes against the Stevens Falcons of the Northside School District on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. Good evening, everybody. I'm Don Harris, along with my broadcast partner, Chuck Mikatinik. And Chuck, both of these teams are 1-1. Clemens got back on the winning track last week with really the most exciting game of the weekend when they beat Mac in double overtime.
It was a heck of a game, Don, and really made for a short week for these guys coming in here and having to play on Thursday night. But if you look at these two teams offensively, Don, you're going to see kind of a 180. For Clemens, they're young at quarterback. They have a veteran running back. Vice versa for the kids from Stevens. But when we talk about the Clemens Buffaloes, they're really going to be relying on a young man by the name of Jeremy Collins at running back because their quarterback, Frank Harris, is a sophomore. So Jeremy Collins is going to have a lot on his plate tonight. He's really going to have to carry the load offensively, as you would expect. There's a sophomore quarterback back there getting just his third start at the varsity level. Now, on the other side of the field, just the opposite. We've got Stevens, who's a little inexperienced at running back, but then you've got the senior Bobby Chacon back there. The kid's a baseball player, and he's one heck of a football player, Don. They're throwing the ball more than they ever have at Stevens under Coach Daryl Hanfel, and Coach Hem telling me before the game that they put basically 60% more of the offense this year on Chacon's shoulders as opposed to last year when they had a stud running back.
Yeah, they had Marquis Hinton a year ago. We saw him on Thursday Night Lights. He was our player of the game. The fact that he's not there means Chacon has to do more running and passing, and they really think he can handle the load.
There's no question about it. I mean, and that's just what you want. You got a senior quarterback. He's your leader. He's a multi-sport star, and they're going to be looking for some big things for him tonight.
All right, we're going to be looking for a great game and hopefully a little cooler weather. It's hot right now. Let's go down to the field for our Ewald Kubota Game Time Weather and Alex Garcia.
Well, guys, it is a super-duper night for football. If you really like heat, temperature sitting about 97. We got a few little thunderstorms kind of firing up way back out there. Don't think we're going to see any rain for the game, but boy, it'll be a heat one, and that means it'll be a little tough to play the game tonight in all the heat. But otherwise, I think we'll see a good game, no wind, and let's play football.
And the Stephen Falcons are going to be hot. They're wearing black jerseys. And Samuel Clemens, I noticed the Buffs wearing the red, white, and blue Buffalo logo as tribute for 9/11. And we're also going to have a cool moment of silence before tonight's game in honor of 9/11.
Looking forward to all that and more, Don, tonight.
All right, when we come back, we'll have our keys to the game, the Church's Chicken keys to the game for both Clemens and Stevens when we come back on Thursday Night Lights.
Tonight's game in high definition is brought to you by Medler's Jewelry on Blanco, just outside Loop 410.
Welcome back to Gustafson Stadium. It's Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. It is Clemens and it is Stevens, and we are nearing kickoff. But right now, it's time for our Church's Chicken keys to the game. Chuck, two different teams. First of all, what are the keys for the Clemens Buffaloes?
Well, Don, first off, Clemens wants to make sure that they limit the big plays. I know in talking to the Clemens coaches, they're really concerned about the kind of athlete that Stevens has outside. Secondly, they want to force some turnovers. And then thirdly, they want to play their assignment. If they're in the wrong gap, they feel like they're going to be really in a whole heap of trouble tonight.
Here's their coach, Jared Johnston.
Well, we tell them it's no different. I know it's it's football, and we tell them, it's on TV and all that stuff like that. But, we said we film every practice, every little drill they do, and every game. So it's no different, just a different person filming.
There you go. Chuck Darrell Hemphill always has a good squad at Stevens. A new team. He's got a great linebacker. What are they going to have to do to win?
Well, Coach Hemphill's a defensive-minded guy, but the first thing he'd like to do tonight is execute his offense. Secondly, he wants to contain quarterback Frank Harris on the Clemens side, make the young man beat him with his arm. And then lastly, he wants his team to stay focused for all 48 minutes, which is not an easy thing to do, Don, when you're playing on TV under the lights your entire ball game.
He's one of the nicest guys in town, Darrell Hemphill.
Our team is improving. We're 1-1 right now. We want to get better each and every week. We don't play a game that really counts, until like 3 weeks from now. But I expect us to come out, play hard, do the things we do, throw the ball around, play a little pass and catch, and tackle some guys.
Works for me.
We are about ready for come back. We'll have our ironclad kickoff and our Dixie Flag National Anthem, and tonight a very special tribute on the anniversary of 9/11. It's all on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. Don't go anywhere.
Closed captioning for tonight's game is sponsored by the Law Office of Anna Laura Hesbrook.
Welcome back to Gustafson Stadium. We're about ready to kick off Thursday Night Lights between the Clemens Buffaloes and the Stevens Falcons. And right now it's time for our Dixie Flag National Anthem. And Chuck, tonight there's going to be a little bit of special tribute. We're going to have a moment of silence, of course, to honor the heroes on 9/11 and those who have passed since, fighting for our country. And right now we're going to turn it over to our public address announcer, Lou Kaluza.
Now entering the field is the color guard from the Texas 20,051st Air Force Junior ROTC from John Paul Stevens High School. Commanding and carrying the American flag, Cadet Senior Airman Nicole Levine. Carrying the Texas flag, Cadet Senior Airman Kiana Johnson. The American Guard, Cadet Senior Airman Desiree Sombrano. And the Texas Guard Cadet Senior Airman Jonas Torres. At this time, we ask you to please rise and remove your hats. On today, the 13th anniversary of the attack on America, September 11th, 2001, let us have a moment of silence in honor of all the lives lost on that fateful day. National anthem this evening will be sung by the Stevens Choir under the direction of Mr. Michael Murphy.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets' red glow, the bombs were singing. They proved through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh,
Great job by the Stevens Falcon choir, including a couple of football players in the choir, including Javon Dixon and Ricky Rodriguez. Those guys did a great job. Let's go down to the sidelines. Our David Chancellor, he's been our man all year long and will continue to be so for the rest of the season, checking in on the injuries on the sidelines, the players and their families. Chance, what's going on?
Well, I'd like to echo something that Alex said earlier, and that is there is absolutely no wind. None. Not a drop. Not a single piece of wind, which means, like Stevens, the folks down here wearing black jerseys, black shirts will be very, very hot by the end of the game. As you said, we'll be checking out all the sidelines, the sidebars of tonight's game, including the mamas and daddies, the real stars behind Thursday Night Lights heroes. We'll check in with the band directors from both schools. You know, it's not a football game without a little music, and we will check in and find out what both Clemens and Stevens have in store for us at halftime. And we have sang, we have rapped. I have no idea, honestly, what the kids from Churches have in store for us tonight, but you will find out near the end of the first quarter. Guys, back to you.
Well, Dave, I'll tell you this. I don't know what you're talking about. It's nice and air-conditioned up here, and there's a breeze coming through the window. It might be hot on the sidelines, but Chuck got a cold bottle of water in his hand.
All's good up here, Don, for sure.
Church's chicken. All right, we're ready to just about kick it off. Stevens and Clemens. If you're just tuning in, and we will reset it for you, the Stevens Falcons lost last week to Bernie Champion. No shame in that. Champion, a very good ball squad. And the Clemens Buffaloes, Chuck, had a big double overtime win. They were down 21-7 in that game and really fought through.
No, they really did, Don. And I think the best part of what we're going to see tonight is how will Clemens respond? You know, you're coming off a double overtime win Saturday, so you get done late. And then you have to turn around and play quickly here on Thursday night. So it's going to be interesting to see how Clemens comes out in this ball game with really a short turnaround coming into the game.
All right, so the Buffs will kick off. Tyreek Allen will be back to receive, along with Xavier Ortiz. Those are two electric wide receivers and playmakers for the Stevens Falcons. And doing the honors for the Clemens Buffaloes will be their kicker, Eric Pena. Also gives us time to tell you it's time for the Ironclad Roofing kickoff. Tonight's kickoff presented by Ironclad Roofing and Renovation. Alex Bridges is the kicker for Clemens. As we told you earlier in the broadcast, the Buffalo that's normally blue and gold has been replaced by the red, white, and blue. Very nice tribute as Alec and Ortiz wait to bring it in. Both guys are speed burners, and Ortiz is going to watch this one bounce out of the back of the end zone. And so the Stevens Falcons will start at their own 20-yard line. And Chuck, as we talked about in the pregame, it all hinges on their quarterback, Bobby Chacon.
No question, Don. And really, Coach Hemp says that Bobby's gotten better each and every week. They've given him a little bit more as time has gone on. But as we talked about, this guy's a baseball player. And then Coach Hemphill tells us he's just a teacher's dream. Everything about this kid you have to like, and we're going to see some of his athletic ability on display tonight.
All right, 1st and 10 for the Falcons on their own 20. Chacon in the shotgun with 3 wide. He looks that way, and now he takes off by himself. Got some space. Picks up about 5 yards before ducking out of bounds. Time to set our starting lineups. Isaac Green, Aaron Ojeda, Chris Fanek, and Trajan Oliver, along with Leonard Nguano up front. Fanchik, the center, down to the bell cow on that offensive line. Xavier Ortiz, number 5. Tyreek Allen, number 6. The guys to watch. Justin Kilby also has a few catches on the season. 2nd and 5. Allen comes in motion. Instead, fired and caught over the middle. That's Davion Jordan for the first down. And he's got it all the way up to the 45-yard line, brought down by Matthew Johnson.
Trying to pick up the pace here, Don, and that was really nice. And a little subtle move there by Chacon. Looked at his running back and then threw it over the middle for the big completion.
Joshua Varnes, the linebacker to watch on that Clemens defense. Roland Vasquez with the carry. And it was Matthew Johnson bringing him down.
Yeah, Mark Westbrook also doing a nice job filling over there. And You know, it's going to be interesting watching the Stevens running backs kind of grow up before our eyes here. They're a little inexperienced at that position. You can tell they're spreading them out now. This is something we did not see a lot of last year.
2nd and 10. Chacon wasn't ready for it. Now he takes off up the middle by himself. Looks like he's going to get to the first down, but he slides down short of the marker, so it's going to set up 3rd and 1.
What an unbelievable play, though, by Chacon. As you said, Don, had a hard time finding the ears on the snap. But then once things got kind of sideways there and broke down, he was able to make a nice couple of moves, cut it upfield, and just has to be a little bit more aware where the sticks are because, yeah, another foot and he would have the first down.
Joshua Crawl with the tackle for Clemens on the last one. We got movement up front. Looked like the left tackle jumped.
Start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
So, tell you what, Lonnie Johnson loves some TV time. He's on Thursday Night Lights yet again. He's joined with Albert Lopez, Joe Hernandez, Rudy Martinez, and David Diaz as your back judge. So that slide prematurely half a yard short now really comes into play because instead of 3rd and inches, it's 3rd and almost 6 for Chacon. And Tyreek Allen moved early. That ball's caught. Threw it into traffic, did Chacon. Near the marker, but it's going to be short.
I'll tell you, that was an impressive throw, Don. He had 3 guys, 3 defenders around his receiver, and still laid it in there perfectly. And you can see why Stevens likes throwing the ball. Coach Hemphill tells us he's got 5 kids that can catch the ball. You got a baseball player who can play quarterback as well, so there's nothing wrong with that strike.
Justin Kilby outfought the Clemens defender for the ball, but he did not get the first down. So back to punt is Cameron Cortez. And back to receive is Darian Newbill for Clemens, and he's a speed burner. Good punt, good Stevens roll inside the 10. Ortiz downs it at the 9, and that's where the Clemens Buffaloes will get their first chance deep in their own territory when we come back on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights.
Straight back.
Wow.
Really impressive.
Welcome back to Thursday Night Lights. Stevens stalled out at a bat midfield. Clemens getting their first possession. Talking a lot about Frank Harris. He's a young sophomore quarterback, runs and throws. Hands this time. And with a first down and much, much more and pushed out of bounds is running back Jeremy Collins, the kid we talked about in the pregame show. And Chuck, this kid, you can tell why they use him at running back, wide receiver, and on kick returns. Frank Harris completing over 56% of his passes. He's got 300 yards on the season. The most impressive stat for Frank is he's got 6 touchdown passes and only 1 interception, so the ratio really good. They really like this kid, even though he's very young, just a sophomore. Collins again on the carry, picks up about 3 right over the middle. He's brought down by Teddy Britton. We're going to be calling his name a lot. When we talked about the Clemens Buffaloes offense, big guys up front. Kendall Tyrus, their left tackle, a 3-year starter. And then we've told you about Frank Harris, the guys to watch along with Jeremy Collins, and Zach Pinkerton also can fly. Harris rolls to his right, looking to throw it. Very patient, switches to the left hand, throws incomplete. That gives us time to set up that Stevens defense. Ivan Dranowski, also a 3-year starter for the Stevens Falcons up front. Number 8, Teddy Britton, might be the best linebacker in all of San Antonio. Already getting a lot of Division I looks. And in the backfield, Roderick Lee playing corner is also a standout athlete. 3rd down and 7 for Harris as he rolls left, switches hands, loses the football. It's on the ground. I believe Clemens has recovered, but it's going to be 4th down. Chuck, I know he threw the ball once left-handed, but I can't tell if Harris is right-handed or left-handed. He switched the ball a couple of times.
No, he did, and he switched the ball to his other hand on that one. But yeah, it looks like he's going to throw it left-handed for sure. But still, you could tell Stevens, they've got really good athletes back there on the defensive backfield, and Coach Hemphill said he's waiting for these guys to learn to communicate a little bit better. He says they're really, really smart, and it's just a matter of time. But right there, they did a really good job covering everybody downfield.
Watch the speed from Tyreek Allen if he gets a chance, but he does not. tackled down inside his own 25-yard line. Nice play down there by number 22, Christian Edmondson, with the tackle. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. We're scoreless in the first quarter as the Stevens Falcons get their second shot at it. They'll start on their own 23-yard line. Bobby Chacon in the shotgun. Looks and fires to Tyreek Allen right away. He's got about 2. Tackled there. Kind of like the poise already that we see from Chacon. Chuck, we know that Darrell Hemphill is going to put a lot on his shoulders this season.
Yeah, there's no question. And really, we got a chance to see him play last year, and he already looks way more poised. And it's amazing what a whole year starting will do for a kid back there.
2nd down and 7 for the Falcons as Chacon rolls right. Fires, that's caught at the 30, across the 30, and also lost out of bounds. And looked out of bounds. They're going to say it's still Stevens' ball. Davion Jordan made the reception. He was tackled by Joshua Kral. We see on replay, we're kind of blocked out by the sideline, and see if that ball stayed in bounds after he lost possession. It's hard to tell. It looks like it stayed in. Sure, he knocked it right back in. Fisher was all over. It was recovered by 44, but 44 may have been on the sideline when he recovered. That's Luke Jennings.
And Don, on that last play, there were a lot of options down the field. Chacon decided to just take the safe one underneath, but they might have some explosive play opportunities downfield.
To Don Johnson Realtors first down for Chacon as he fires outside the Jordan. Jordan crosses the 40, crosses the 45, and that's another Don Johnson Realtors first down.
Yeah, you're just using both sides of the field, spreading everybody out. Go right one play, go back left the next. And you could tell Stevens has got some athletes all up and down this field, and they are really looking good here early.
Chacon has 3 really good threats in Ortiz, Allen, and Jordan, all speed burners. Throws over the middle. That picked off. Clemens with the interception across the 40 down to the 35. Norman Reeves, and Chuck, Coach Johnson told me, it says, is there a guy to watch out for on defense this year? He said Norman Reeves. David Chancellor's down on the sidelines. Chance?
Don, Chuck always seems to get his hands on the food before I can at halftime. I beat him to the punch. Matthew Kirsten here from Church's. I see you brought me a little dinner.
Well, this is a special announcement just for our viewers. Fish and shrimp are back at Church's, and it's not even the Lent season. My favorite is the zesty popcorn shrimp, with ketchup, of course. How about you, Kirsten?
I love the flaky fish with lots of tartar sauce.
Whoa, slow down. We need to save some for the camera crew.
They don't need any.
I can't help myself. You know our motto, Church's Chicken.
Have the love.
You know what my motto is? Eat as much as you can. Mike Signs from Church's here. Mike, I'm sampling the merchandise, as they say. What's going on at the old chicken factory?
Well, that's what it's for. But I'll tell you what, fans, do we have something for you. On Fridays, any Friday, come by your local Church's. You get 5 of our delicious tenders, hand-battered, all white breast meat, 5 of them, a small gravy and a biscuit, only $5.55. Come on by, take advantage, and I'll tell you what, it's one heck of a deal.
Yeah, the chicken's very good. Guys, we got to get the kids home. Believe it or not, a teacher at their school actually gave them homework or a test tomorrow. Doesn't she know it's Thursday Night Lights? No homework, no test on Thursday nights. You guys get home, I'll take the chicken, all right? All right, back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Dave. There's no homework during football season, is there?
There wasn't for us.
There wasn't for me.
Clemens possession. First
had a penalty, looked like a hold
48
back in the Clemens backfield. So that pushes him right back to midfield as Harris turns and hands off, and that's Collins again, right up the middle. He's got about 4. Adam Arguello with the tackle.
And Dawn, just watching first couple series here from Clemens, it's nice to see young Frank Harris. You can tell he's been coached. The last thing you want to do is turn the ball over. This kid gets outside, there's nothing there. He throws the ball away. I mean, that's what you want to do, you know? Take baby steps. You don't have to make all the big plays this early on in your career. Learn to read some things, see some things, get a little experience, and then, you know, take your shots when they become available.
But penalties really killing the Buffs' drive right now. Looks like we have an illegal substitution there. Lonnie Johnson whines, and we're back running the 40-second play clock. Harris pressured, throws the screen, and all over it for the Stevens Falcons was Ivan Dranowski.
No, he sure was. He read that one all the way, and you could tell that was setting up to be the screen when, you know, guys catch the edge like that and they get around the corners. And here it is.
Yeah, 45 and 8 are going to
for it to happen.
Dranowski is their big 3-year starter up front, and Britton is right behind him. And I'll tell you what, Teddy Britton right there on your screen, number 8. He's already been offered by UTSA. Little undersized. I think that's why some Division I schools are staying away from him. But by the time this season is over, I think you'll have a couple more offers. Harris fires deep, has a man, and almost got it to him, but it bounced a little short. Good coverage by the Stevens defense.
Yeah, a little tough to pick up when it's 4th and forever, but really nice play there by number 7, stepping up in the pocket to avoid the pressure.
Hey, we're excited to bring you a new element to this season's broadcast, the San Antonio Sports All-Star Cheer Challenge, powered by CPS Energy. 8 local high school cheer squads will win the opportunity to cheer at the highest level of high school football at the Army All-American Bowl or at the San Antonio Sports All-Star Game. Voting begins on September 8th. Register your cheer squad now. More information available on sanantoniosports.org/cheer. Alexander Bridges punting it away to Tyreek Allen, and Tyreek's got it at the 30 this time. Gets a little bit outside, loses the football. And let's see who got it for the Falcons. That was Malakeva Pearson. That's why I hesitated to say the name. 14 letters in that first name. We're back after this. Welcome back to Thursday Night Lights. It's 1st and 10 for the Stephen Falcons, and you're looking at our UIW Smile Cam, brought to you by the University of the Incarnate Word. Earn a degree of difference at Incarnate Word. Handoff right up the middle for Stevens. Game maybe of about 2 yards. Devontae Donald on the carry. He was brought down by Alexander Bridges, who's also the punter tonight. Kicker. Does it all for him. Devontae Donald joining Chacon in the backfield. He's got 3 wide receivers to his left. Instead, he throws right to Ortiz, who wrestles it away. I'm not sure he got it. And they're going to call it incomplete.
I'll tell you, looking at Clemens, Don, first look, I mean, this is some big fellas over on that side of the ball.
Yeah, just eyeball test. Matthew Johnson, the senior linebacker. Patrick Weathersby is huge. 3rd down and 8 for Stevens as Chacon looks, fires deep, and just overthrew Ortiz. Had him open as well. Joshua Kral's been everywhere tonight. He was on the coverage there. We've got a flag down.
Ineligible receiver downfield on the offense. Penalties declined. 4th down.
All right, so the flag doesn't matter, so Stevens will kick it away, and Clemens will try to do something with it. Cameron Cortez will kick it away.
You know, both teams have had some early opportunities here and haven't been really able to convert. But imagine though, as we get going here, these guys get their rhythm a little bit, we're going to see some pretty big plays downfield. Looks like both teams have got some speed to burn on the outside.
Darian Newbill back to receive the punt. Off the side of the foot. Takes a hop at the 40, 35 and out of bounds at about the 33-yard line, which gives us time to tell you about our high school music service band cam. Robert Petrisky is on the sidelines with David Chancellor. He's the Clemens band director. Dave?
Don, Mr. Petrisky, I got to ask you, how many years you've been doing this, not only at Clemens, but in general?
I've been, this is my 10th year at Clemens, and it's my 35th year of teaching.
35 years of teaching. Do you still get that enthusiasm? First day of school, first day of band practice, first football game?
Every year. It's always exciting to see the kids come back with so much enthusiasm and excitement. It really helps set the mood for the entire year.
I ask this to all of our band directors because I always find it interesting. Some say they get nervous, some say they don't get nervous. What is your take on not only yourself, but what the pulse of your band members going into tonight? Were they excited? Were they nervous going performing on television?
I think they're more excited than nervous. Probably a little nervous for the freshmen because they're still new to them. But that nervousness is easily taken over by the excitement, and they want to go out there and do a great show. 230 some odd members, you said. What will we be seeing from the Buffaloes marching band tonight at halftime? The title of our halftime show is called Wavelength, based on the water waves, and it's going to be a really exciting show. We have 2 of our movements placed on the field, and it's in preparation for our UIL competition that will be coming up in October.
All right, Don, before we go back to you, this gentleman is much too professional to do this, so I'll do it for him. I'll say hello to his beautiful wife, Mrs. Petrisky, who is at home. Irene Petrisky, if you're watching at home, and we think you are sitting on the couch, hello, ma'am. Thanks for watching Thursday Night Lights.
All right, thanks, Dave. Nice job. I tell you what, both defenses have been stout. Elijah Garcia's made a couple of tackles there, number 90. Dranowski made a huge hit on first down. And again, we've talked about Teddy Britton. The Stevens defense has been really, really good, and Chuck Clemens has been just as good on the Stevens' first 2 possessions.
No question. And then, you know, you look at the size of Clemens up front, too, and really on this drive where there was 3 straight run plays, man, there is a lot of hitting going on up front. The real battle in the trenches is underway tonight.
Alex Bridges kicking it, and Tyreek Allen calls for a fair catch at the 21. That's where Stevens will take over, and Stevens is ready to get something going offensively. We talked, Chuck, these are a situation where both quarterbacks have a lot on their plate. Frank Harris is young. You can see the athletic ability that the kid's got. It's a matter of growing up for him. Chacon is really kind of new to this whole throwing thing because he handed the ball off most of last year to Marquis Hinton. And I think both guys just trying to get the bugs out right now.
Yeah, you know, Marquis Hinton playing in junior college at Navarro, and what a special talent that young man was. But, you know, I think what's interesting in talking to the Stevens coaches, Don, is that they really feel like this offense has gotten better a lot quicker than they had anticipated. So it's going to be baby steps along the way to some degree, but they really want to be clicking once they get to district play. And, you know, some of these non-district games are going to be used to experiment a little bit as well.
Yeah, it's one of those strange districts where you only have 5 district games. So the first 5 games are basically warm-ups for you as Ortiz catches it on the sideline, short of the first down. Joshua Krull again there on the coverage. Devontae Donald was the man who carried the ball on first down. Sets up 3rd down and 2. Donald lines up behind Chacon, who again has 3 receivers to his left. Looks for Ortiz again on a 5-yard out. That's as simple as you can do it. Draw it up. Hey, run 5 and out. I'll hit you first down.
Yeah, a couple steps drop and out comes the ball. There's some pressure coming from the left side. So Chacon goes to the right side, and they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on that particular play.
It's Don Johnson Realtors first down for Bobby Chacon. Ortiz and Allen switch sides. So it's Tyreek Allen with solo coverage on the near side with Krull. Clemens fakes the blitz, and Chacon just lost his footing, tried to make a move, but got tripped up by the 35.
And if Chacon had just looked to his right, Tyreek Allen was running a slant, had beaten his man right off the line of scrimmage, and then actually was able to get downfield too. But by that time, you know, there was pressure on the quarterback, and he was running for his life a little bit back there.
All right, so that brings up 2nd down and about 12. It's got 4 wides in this formation, 2 to either side. Straight drop by Chacon. Lets it fly deep. And just again is about 5 yards too far. And this time that was intended for Davion Jordan.
That's a little good problem to have, though, if you're that kid back there throwing the ball quarterback, Don. I mean, there's no question about his arm strength. I mean, he was flat-footed that time and just let it rip for about 55 yards. But Clemens throwing a bunch of different looks at these guys. I mean, they were running a little NFL zone blitz right there, dropping guys into coverage, and it looked like they were going to go. And so they're giving Chacon a little bit of everything here to look at in the early going.
Yeah, Matthew Johnson, number 11, again, crawls up there. That linebacker looking like he wanted to blitz. Now he drops into coverage as Chacon throws it to the near side of Tyreek Allen, but that's snuffed out. Well read by the Clemens defense. 42, Josh Varnes again. He was on our scouting sheet. He was also joined by Norman Reeves, who Coach Johnson thinks Reeves could conceivably play at the next level.
Yeah, another 3-year starter that they were ballyhooing before the game. And that's the interesting thing about, what both of these guys like to do, both of these coaches, but especially at Clemens, Don, where they say, hey, best players are going to play. We don't care what grade they're in.
All right, that'll bring up a punt, but for now we've got a timeout on the field, and we'll take it with them. 9 seconds to go in the quarter, and it's scoreless. Welcome back to Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. It's time for our JR's Plumbing highlights, and really both teams struggling offensively. It's been a defensive battle, and Norman Reeves making the big Oski for the Clemens Buffaloes on that possession, and had some big hits by the Stevens defense, including Ivan Dranowski with a slobber knocker there. All right, so we start the second quarter with a 4th down for Stevens. Short punt, bounces at about the 40, and it's taken at the 32. Darian Newbill doesn't have much time to grab it to return it, and so after 1 quarter scoreless, be interesting, Chuck. It looks like this is one of those games where strategies with both teams' offensives, if they continue to struggle, you'll start to see the play callers get a little more inventive.
Well, I think it looks like both of these teams are trying to get their feet underneath them tonight, just a little bit. But from a defensive standpoint, you got to think both of these teams are doing exactly what they wanted to do. Clemens wanted to have 4 or 5 kids to the ball, and Stevens wanted to stop the big play, and both teams have been able to do that so far.
Nice run right up the middle, busting that one wide open is Shannon Warren in for the starter, Jeremy Collins, and Warren says, hey, I can do it. Let me have a shot.
Wow, our first big explosive play of the game, and that was, again, one of the things that Stevens really wanted to limit tonight. I think they've given up 5 huge plays this year, resulting in 5 touchdowns. I think that's what Coach Imp was telling me. So, that's been a little bit of their bugaboo, and they really wanted to eradicate that type of play tonight.
Well, not really a surprise. He's their leading rusher on the season as far as yards per carry. Warren is. He averages 6.8 yards a carry, and he's had 20 carries for 136 yards on the season. And that's Christian Edmondson right there. So not only do they have Jeremy Collins, but they can give you a different look with a couple of different guys as Dranowski makes the tackle on that play.
Yeah, Clemens finally get a chance to flip field position a little bit, too. That was a huge play.
2nd down and 8 for the Buffs. They run motion, a little fake jet sweep. Harris keeps. He's dragged down after a gain of about 3 by Teddy Britton. And again, number 8 all over the football.
Yeah, strong tip of the cat to Luke Trevino, too. I believe he was on the ground and actually got some of the jersey. It's a nice play there by big number 96.
Seen some good football up front by both defensive lines.
Some collisions going on tonight on both sides, no doubt.
My bad, Luke. I give that tackle to Britton. It was all Luke Trevino as Harris takes off and shows his speed. Harris gets outside, inside the 25-yard line, down to about the 22, and that's an Affiliated Mortgage first down. Ricky Rodriguez with the tackle.
And how about guys like Kendall Tyus, number 70, getting downfield and throwing some blocks? I mean, some of their guys up front were 15, 20 yards down the field still laying blocks.
Yeah, Tyus is their leader up there. He's a 3-year starter, getting some looks, and Coach Johnson had nothing but great things to say about him this week.
He likes all his kids. He says he's got a pretty good group.
There's Warren again. Warren still on his feet.
Wow.
Almost popped it. How? Strong tackle there by Joshua Sullivan. Otherwise, Warren would have taken it to the end zone. And it brings us inside the 20, which means we're inside the Six Flags Fiesta Texas red zone. Shannon Warren says, enough of this. We want some offense, I'll bring it to you. Looks like we've got an injury on the field. That's Tristan Robinson of Clemens, who's down, holding his left ankle.
Yeah, we talked about the physicality, Don, up front with the big uglies on both sides of the ball, and, you know, we just hope the young man's all right.
And while we wait to see Tristan get up and hopefully walk off, you can help a local school take home the $2,500 T&L band grant. It's all based on votes, and your vote counts. Stay tuned to the halftime show for information on how to vote. The $2,500 T&L grant is made possible by Vulcan Materials Company. Text Band 5 with no spaces for Clemens or Band 6 with no spaces for Stevens. We'll give you those phone numbers, 45203. And we'll remind you of that during the halftime show. Robinson is helped off to the sidelines.
I hope nothing but the best for that young man. Obviously, these kids are all out here playing hard and playing tough, and you don't like to see something like that because most of these kids are pretty tough, and if it wasn't something bad, he'd probably walk off by himself.
Here's the toss to Warren, who's been a nice, wow, Teddy Britton and Warren, two guys who have both already established themselves in this ball game, and that time they just went head to head. Actually, that was Jonathan Solis.
Yeah, I thought it was Britton, too, the way he came out of nowhere, but I'll tell you what, Solis, like he had a tracer on him or something. I mean, that kid was like a missile shot out of nowhere.
He can run, too.
And a nice finish. Impressive.
Third down and about 6 for the Buffs. Harris fakes to Warren and now fires, has a man, and he lit up right as he tried to catch it. Joshua Sullivan on the coverage.
You talk about guys with ability to close and make a play. Obviously, that was another fine play by the Stevens DBs. And again, we talked about this earlier on in the game, Don. These guys have got some special kids back there playing defensive back. And it's just a matter of these guys learning to gel and play together. I mean, this could be really a top flight defense. They're already stepping up tonight, but this might be one of the city's best by the end of the year.
All right, so Alex Bridges is on. He'll try about a 36-yarder. It's on its way. And it's no good. It looked like it was left. Had enough leg, but just drifted left on him. And so we are still scoreless here with 8:44 to go in the second quarter.
Well, some positive moments there from Clemens on offense. Got a couple of big plays offensively, so at least they're moving the ball.
Let's head down to the sidelines and our David Chancellor. Chance?
Guys, here with John Dominguez, the band director for Stevens High School. Doesn't matter if you score on the field. I know we're going to see a home run, a touchdown from pick the sports analogy you want, but we're going to see a great band performance by both you and Clemens tonight. Tell us what we're going to see.
We're going to see the premiere of our UIL show. It's called it's called Once Upon a Dream. And it features a lot of different music. It has Pure Imagination in it, and it has a song by the band Emotion Heap. So it's a lot of fun. It's a premiere of our show tonight.
And this is a big deal for bands. When you're talking about the UIL performance, this is the playoffs for you guys. Your event begins middle of October?
We start our contest season October 4th, and we end up with a deciding contest on the 25th that decides whether we're going to go to the state marching contest on November 4th, which is here in the Alamo Dome. So we hope to advance there.
And you were telling me something off camera, pretty cool. You have a pretty large band, 260 members. Some of those include football players.
Yeah, we have a lot of football players. We've had varsity, we have junior varsity and freshmen. We work really well with Daryl, and we like to keep those athletes in band.
You know, John, Chuck, the ladies like a musician. They're just figuring it out there at Stevens. They're ahead of the curve.
All right, thanks a lot, Dave.
Yeah.
Dave, do you play any instruments?
I
didn't think so.
Harmonica.
Yeah.
Harmonica, not well.
That explains it.
Yeah. I'm married, it doesn't matter.
Tyreek Allen tried to do a little bit too creative on that reverse, and Alexander Bridges, the kicker, punter, DB's done a little bit of it all tonight.
I've been impressed really with what Clemens has been able to do on a short week. The point of emphasis this week, Don, was to get 4 or 5 guys to the football, and that's working out just fine right now for them.
All right, so 3rd and about 20. As Chacon runs for his life. He's done a good job of keeping the play alive. Cuts back, he's got some space. Now fires and throws, and it's dropped by Tyreek Allen. After all that, I think he may have crossed the line of scrimmage, or there most likely was an illegal man downfield with that kind of time.
It may have been past the line of scrimmage.
Those big uglies want to, yeah, he was 5 yards over the line of scrimmage.
On the offense, lost it down, 4th down.
It was an entertaining play, though. I mean, he did everything but drive the bus on that one.
Yeah, I think he saw the stick for the 1st down instead of realizing it was 3rd and 20, and that other stick was about 10 yards behind him.
There are some nifty moves and some surprising elusiveness there on that play, for sure.
All right, so Darian Newbill will be back to receive the punt off the foot of Cameron Cortez. Newbill will be right out about midfield. Eric Pena will do the kicking. Cortez and Pena taking turns tonight.
Clemens, like I said, playing some pretty good defense here to start this game, and they've got 3 kids on that side of the ball that had never played varsity level football before. So Clemens showing early they can get some stops if need be.
And they may come up with some good field possession here, although that bounce takes a nice bounce for Stevens Falcons. We'll take a break. When we come back, Clemens will be on the move at about their own 40-yard line. Welcome back to Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. That's our UIW Smile Cam, brought to you by the University of the Incarnate Word. Earn a degree of difference at the University of the Incarnate Word. Warren pops another one out to almost the 49. Shannon Warren, as I said, had 20 carries for 136 yards coming in. He's a big, strong football player. Joshua Sullivan on the tackle.
Yeah, and his ability to recognize the hole and then shoot through the hole, amazing.
Yeah, we heard so much about Collins coming in, but looks like Warren's a little tougher, more of a physical back, and Collins is their speed guy, although the Stevens defense, Solis and company, snuffed that one out.
Yeah, Patrick Weathersby among many in on the play. Don, I've been impressed really with young Frank Harris at quarterback. I mean, you can tell he's poised, and you know, from what the coaches tell us, he's a leader and he's a vocal leader. So the kid expects a lot from himself, and we'll see if he can get this thing going here as the night goes on.
He gets the Affiliated Mortgage first down by doing it himself. Well, you know, they have to have a lot of faith in him. Elijah Garcia makes the tackle. Because like you said, when you turn your varsity football team over to a sophomore, he's got to be something special, because usually they're seniors that have played the position. But they see something in this kid that makes them think that he's going to be the man for a few more years. Hands off, and inside the 40-yard line is Christian Edmondson, who is also carrying the ball a lot tonight. Patrick Weathersby with the tackle. Edmondson mixing it up. See, they've got a nice little mix there. Chuck, they can give you Collins, they can give you Warren, they can give you Edmondson, all different kind of backs.
Yeah, it's really hard for the defense to zone in on one guy.
That's Collins who picks up the first down. Ivan Dranowski on the tackle, but it looks like Clemens may be onto something here, starting to move the chains. That's 2 first downs in a row.
Yeah, it's pancaking going on up top. Taylor LeBlanc, number 55, getting the best of his guy on that side of the ball. And it's proving, I mean, they're being able to run this ball.
Yeah, and just because there's no scoring doesn't mean there's not some football being played. Watch up front and look at some of the hits going on, and look at some of the man-on-man matchups between the offensive linemen and the defensive linemen and the linebackers. This is a physical football game.
Yeah, and Harris right there taking a shot, spun right out of it and picked up 3 or 4 more yards.
Elijah Earls there. Elijah Garcia as well. 2nd down and 7. Edmondson and Collins behind Harris. I formation, fake to Collins. Harris is going to let it fly. He's got 2 guys out there. And I'll tell you what, doing a great job trying to get all the way down there to bring it in was Tristan Fallon. And I tell you what, he showed a nice burst of speed to try to catch up to the football. Joshua Sullivan on the coverage. He did a great job as well.
No doubt. I mean, a little slow getting over, but still was back there in plenty of time. And just great coverage downfield by Stevens. And again, that's got to make Coach Hemphill feel pretty good, because that was one of the things that he really wanted these guys to do, is start playing together, especially the DBs.
Big play here, 3rd and 7. Harris keeps himself, struggles, does not quite get the first down because Teddy Britton was there to make him short, but it's an interesting play call here for Jared Johnson because he's 4th and 2, but he's in that no man's land field goal wise. It looks like he's sending out the kick team of some sort.
And some big Berthas.
Alex Bridges is coming on. It looks like he may try one from about 40 plus. Now he's going to punt it. And this isn't a bad move in a game like this, Chuck. Too many times we see guys go for it, but really field position is key here. If you can keep Stevens, it's a fake. And I'm not sure he made it. In fact, he did not. The Stevens defense bows up and stops Clemens short. Stevens will have the football when we come back. Boy, the Stevens defense just bowed their neck. They saw that coming a mile away, and it was a direct snap to Collins, and Teddy Britton and company read that from the start, snuffed it right out. So Stevens has it 1st down on their own 30. Josh Barnes on the tackle.
Yeah, Don, and I don't blame Clemens for trying a little trickeration there. I mean, what the heck? Your defense is playing great so far in this game, and you still got them. Even if you don't make it, you still have them on their side of the field. So what the heck?
Roland Vasquez on the carry. Ball's fired over to the near side. That ball's caught for a completion. Justin Kilby with the reception. Hey, the high end zone shot is coming from a 43-foot scissor lift provided to us by Contractors Building Supply. They've got a wide variety of available equipment. They deliver. Give them a call, 496-1227. They'll take good care of you. 1st and 10 for the Stevens Falcons. Bobby Chacon scrambling again. And this time, well, he still avoids a tackle and fires over the middle. He just kind of short-armed it as he was looking for Davion Jordan. Does a nice job, Chuck, of avoiding contact and buying time.
Well, he sure did, because Luke Jennings was looking for a quarterback sandwich right there. I mean, he did everything but get Chacon on the ground on that particular play, but you have to wonder, I'm sure Chacon spent so much energy running around that I don't know if he may have had anything left to make that throw. He was scrambling for his life back there.
He's 8 for 14. 63 yards and 1 pick. That one's caught and complete to Jordan, who's stood up. I tell you what, 31 we've been calling all night long. Joshua Kral has had good coverage over there on that island.
You know, I think with a lot of quarterbacks too, Don, you've seen Chacon when they're running this up-tempo, quick-paced offense, and when he can set his feet and make a throw, he looks much more comfortable. You know, it's pretty hard when you're running around back there trying to find guys downfield and still complete the pass.
Another passing down for Stevens. 3rd and 6. Chacon hands inside on a draw, and that goes going nowhere. Joshua Varnes again on the tackle. And Joshua Varnes, Chuck, we talked about it 2 or 3 times. Coach told us all week, this is the guy to keep your eye on, and he is not disappointed.
It's quickly becoming linebacker U here at Clemens High School with all the talent that has come through there in the last half-decade or so.
Yeah, Colin Hill playing at Notre Dame. You said you watched that game the other night, and he was a true freshman, Colin Hill from Clemens, playing for the Fighting Irish and playing very well.
No doubt. I mean, you know, just listening to the telecast, they were saying that the Notre Dame coaches had said that Colin Hill was their fastest, most explosive end rushing the passer. And I'm willing to agree with what they said, but when I was watching him, he was bull rushing guys and pushing guys that were 100 pounds more than him backwards a lot. So for him to get on a field with that good of a team and that good of defense already, it tells you what kind of an athlete he is.
Hey, it's our CPS Energy Cheer Challenge. Voting begins on September 18th. Cheer Squad registration is now open. For more information, go to sanantoniosports.org/cheer. It's going to be a great chance for local cheer squads to participate in the U.S. Army All-American Bowl and in our San Antonio Sports All-Star game.
Yeah, we're not even talking about Sean Porter, who's playing linebacker for the Cincinnati Bengals, who played at A&M. He was a draft pick by the Bengals a couple of years ago, so that's 2 stud linebackers from that school here in the last 5 years.
Stevens punts it away. Gets a nice little bit of a bounce as the wind kicks up here at Gustafson Stadium. Ball is going to be down at the 25. We're scoreless in a very physical football game between 2 very good defenses. You see the flag starting to blow. We're supposed to have some weather roll into the area, we hope, tomorrow and not tonight.
I could use a little of that no matter what. I'll take the rain if we get it tonight. Maybe make this game even more interesting. I mean, it's kind of funny how I thought we'd see a little more point action here in this game, a little more from the offenses at this point, but hasn't played out that way. The defenses are really playing tough.
Harris hands inside to Collins. Collins sheds a tackler, crosses the 40, still on his feet. Great effort by Collins all the way down inside the 50. What a run. Oh my goodness, speed, power, elusiveness. 28 yards before Roderick Lee finally brought him down.
Yeah, I think he wanted to get in on the action. You see everybody being able to run the ball tonight, and look at that, makes 1 guy miss, 2 guys. And then it takes 3 or 4 guys to get him on the canvas.
That's toughness, speed, quickness, all of it right there. Total package is that is an Affiliated Mortgage first down. They give it right back to him. Tries to dance outside, does, makes another man miss. Gets outside again, he's to the 40 to 35, and down right at that 32-yard line. Collins is breaking loose.
Yeah, same type of run, part deux. This time he's going left and breaks the initial contact at the line of scrimmage, and then a couple of nice moves and breaks it upfield again.
Jeremy Collins, the senior, averages 4.5 yards a carry. He's got 2 touchdowns on the season coming into tonight, and he is their workhorse. 29 carries coming into tonight's ball game.
And Coach Hemphill with his hands on his hips, addressing his defense right now. Old defensive player himself, played in the NFL for a little while. Not liking the tackling right now that he's seeing from his squad. I'm sure he's letting them have it.
I think he's challenging them right now because this has been a very tough football game. Kind of won at the line of scrimmage, and it's gone back and forth, and both teams have won their share of some battles, but right now his guys are getting pushed backwards, and I think he's challenged them right now to bow up and push back.
Yeah, I mean, you've played such a nice half of football defensively, and you know, you don't want to squander this here. Under a minute to go in the first half. Kind of see what you can do. See if you can get these guys off the field and keep it scoreless.
Well, Ivan Dranowski and Teddy Britton and company come back on the field with maybe some new fire. As you see, Darrell Hemphill, been around a long time, Coach O'Connor. One of the true great guys in town. We really like Coach Hemp. Great personality, loves kids.
Does he ever? Well, we got some stories we can tell for the rest of the night.
1st and 10. Look at Harris take off. Harris runs out of bounds after he picks up about 5.
Well, he's got another gear, doesn't he, Don? I mean, smells trouble, and then bam.
Yeah.
Makes a couple cuts, gets it upfield, and really turned a negative into a positive. Look how special this play was.
Yeah, and just think how good he's going to be as a senior. When you can see that he's got this much poise, and the athletic ability is unquestioned.
And Coach Johnston really talked about his ability to lead, and he's not afraid to be vocal, which you think would be kind of a hard thing to really see in a kid as a sophomore.
Whistles blow. We have movement on the offensive line.
5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
That'll back him up 5. It'll be 2nd down.
And we've seen this a time or two from both teams, really. You know, you get something going, and then you get a penalty, and it just kind of throws the rhythm of everything off.
40 ticks left in the first half as Harris fires to the sideline, and it's dropped. One that the young man from Clemens would like to have back, that being Zach Pinkerton.
Yeah, just one of those. You throw that ball to that kid 1,000 times and he makes that catch 999. It's just one of those, he wanted to catch it and get upfield and just kind of put the cart before the horse on that one.
And Clemens is no doubt out of field goal range right now with 36 seconds left, and third down as Harris rolls across his body, fires. That one's caught in the middle of the field and down to the 20 and inside the 20. All the way down to about the 18-yard line.
How about that throw from
William
the kid,
Fountain?
Huh?
Yeah, nice throw. Really, especially when you have a left-hander going that way.
Absolutely, and found the soft spot in the zone, delivered a strike, and now at least they're going to have a chance, you'd think, at potentially kicking a field goal, even if they don't score a touchdown. But this was one heck of an athletic play. Rolls to his left, and then that's just a really nice job right there, sitting down, William Fountain.
Yeah, nice job by Fountain to find just a little space there in that zone. And Harris did a good job of spotting it. Gives us a chance to look at what the Buffs have on later in the season. After Stevens, they have Copperas Cove, the alma mater of one RG3. Judson, Steele, Canyon, Smithson Valley, Wagner, New Braunfels. So
welcome to 6A. Buffalo,
look at that.
Detroit.
Judson, Steele, Smithson Valley. Copperas Cove will be good. That is not an easy schedule at all for the Clemens Buffaloes.
We're not kidding.
All right, 1st and 10. Ball's on the 18 with 25 seconds to go. Throw into the end zone as a man. Incomplete, flags fly. We may have had a defensive holding right at the point of contact at the line of scrimmage. It's on the defense.
I'll tell you, Don, the wind has started to kick up here a little bit, and I thought when that ball left Harris's hands, that was going to be a touchdown. And that wind is blowing from the far end of the stadium towards the other side of the stadium here on the near side. And that ball may have gotten knocked down by the wind a little bit.
Yeah, it's brisk. A kick would be interesting as well here, too. There's no guarantees. Harris fakes, fires on a deep slant, and that ball is incomplete. Intended for William Fountain, who had the ball, but Malakea Pearson, I think, knocked it loose.
Yeah, and if you're the wide receiver here, he did a really good job. I mean, if you're going to run that slant, the first thing you've got to do is you've got to get to the inside and go. That's exactly what he did. Just, it took a little too long to develop. There wasn't any safeties over the top, so if they could have hit that a little quicker, it might have gone.
16 seconds left. 2nd and 5. Harris fires again in the middle of the zone. It's caught right near the first down marker. Clock is stopped. Craig Dublin on the reception.
You may have an opportunity to run one more play, try to stick it in the end zone here before the half, before you got to take the 3.
Clemens still has a timeout left. Short of the first down, 3rd down and about 5. Now it looks like Stevens may call a timeout. And we've got a timeout on the field with 11 seconds to go in a scoreless game. Some interesting strategizing going on here, especially when you're coaching a young sophomore on the offensive end and gets down to clock management.
And it really has been a nice job of clock management,
yeah,
considering you got timeouts to burn down here. And so even if you're short of the goal line here, you know, you have that timeout in your back pocket and you can still stop the clock. But they're going to have a chance before they got to kick this field goal. And it's just been very few opportunities offensively for both of these teams. But, you know, Clemens tilting the field on the previous drive has really helped them on this one.
Yeah, there's a redheaded Princeton grad who coaches in Arlington who can't figure out how to manage the clock. Imagine how tough it is for a sophomore in high school.
He seems to have fewer problems. than the redheaded guy on Arlington.
A lot fewer. All right, so here we go. 11 seconds left. 3rd down and about 5 for the sophomore quarterback, Frank Harris of the Clemens Buffaloes. Harris going to run it. He's brought down with 5 left, and a timeout taken by Johnston as they stop it with 3 to go. Patrick Weathersby with the tackle, along with Teddy Britton.
Huge stop by the Wagner kids on that one. You know, there was just nothing downfield available, and Harris had to kind of eat it there and at least protect the opportunity to try to kick a field goal.
All right, let's take a look at the Stevens schedule for the rest of the season. They got Clemens tonight. They've got Roosevelt, and then they're in that strange 5-5 district where you only play 5 district games. And they've got Clark, Taft, Jay, Warren, and Brennan. And you play different teams. You know, they're in a district with 10 teams, and they're in 2 divisions. And again, that'll you know, Brennan, the last game of the season, that'll be their real toughie. Warren's also very good. We saw Clark bounce back after the Gucci Bowl for a win.
Yeah, it's like the SEC of high school.
Yeah. You wouldn't want to play them all in one season. All right, so Bridges is on. He's going to try one from 31 yards. They're going to start the clock on the snap. Craig Dublin is your holder. Kick is up, it's on its way, plenty deep, and it's good. We've got points on the board as the clock expires.
31-yard.
Alex Bridges with the 31-yarder, and that gives Clemens a 3-0 lead at the half. You're watching Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. Going to
show.
Welcome back to Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. It's time for our Bauman Automotive halftime show. Clemens Buffalo Marching Band is the first one out. We heard all from their band director early about what was on tap. So let's listen in to the Buffalo Band.
Star of the week is Echo Win. Choice, Kylie
There you
Koster.
go.
Your Varsity Bells officers are Major Brooke Rodriguez, Lieutenant Colonel Kayla Westman, Colonel Coco Wynn, and Belle of the Week, Isabel Vincent. Director's Choice, Holly Rapman. The Bells and Stars are under the direction of Miss Lisa Coldwell. They will now be performing to the tune Happy. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. For your continued entertainment, the Samuel Clemens Mighty Buffalo Band will perform an exciting arrangement based on an original and arranged music by Ryan George, Alan Silvestri, and Philip Glass entitled Wavelength. The band is directed on the field by senior drum majors Jonathan Mitchell and Taryn Daugherty, and junior drum major Shay Pittman. Our guard officers are Major Senior Lee Johnson and Captain Junior Callie Shannon. Alto saxophone soloist is Douglas Dunlap. And now, Wavelength. That's the Clemens High School Marching Band. If you'd like to vote for them as in our band contest, just text BAND5 to 45203, or just go to www.cw35.com for more details.
Welcome back to the Bauman Automotive Halftime Show.
Welcome back to the Bauman Automotive Halftime Show. Great job by the Clemens Marching Band. And the Stevens Marching Band is on their way out here next. But right now it's time for our Scholar Athlete. Time to recognize some hardworking kids with tonight's Scholar Athlete of the Week. It's brought to you by San Antonio Sports.
One's an offensive lineman, the other a defensive lineman. Maybe fitting that they're going toe-to-toe, because not many can get the best of Josh Barnes or Chris Fanek.
Kind of running off your work ethic and stuff like that. Just coming home and always doing your grind and stuff like that every single day.
There's no way that most people can beat me in an argument because I'll just maneuver around them.
That's precisely why Chris, a senior at Stevens, plans to study pre-law and political science. Vanderbilt and Stanford are his top two college choices. An accomplished writer who's won several competitions, Chris lists one of his community service experiences, the Elf Louise Christmas Project, among his most rewarding.
Going out and giving out small things and seeing the joy on those kids' faces was just incredible to me.
For Clemens senior Josh Varnes, faith is a driving force. An active member of the First Baptist Church of Universal City, he also volunteers for the Salvation Army, among many other organizations. But there is one main goal that keeps Josh, who also plays baseball and has a 4.0 GPA, going.
I'll be the first person in my family to graduate with a degree from college is one of my goals. And so I knew that to get to college, I had to have good grades all throughout my years. And so I always had to put in work, do the homework, study, stuff like that, so that way I can make it to college and do well.
Josh Varnes and Chris Fanek, this week's San Antonio Sports Scholar Athletes.
Congratulations to those two young men, great kids on the field and in the classroom. We also not only keep track of the great scholar athletes, but also what's going on in the world of recruiting and the top prospects in the state, in the area, and in the city. Let's take a look.
This is Barton Simmons from 24/7 Sports, and I'm here tonight with your 24/7 Sports Recruiting Spotlight. And tonight we're going to take a look at Malik Jefferson, a kid everybody across the country that follows recruiting knows. He's a 6'2.5", 215-pound outside linebacker out of Mesquite, Texas, Poteet High School. And man, is he a specimen. This kid really blew away the competition throughout the spring and summer, not to mention what he's done in pads. In a camp setting, we haven't seen many more athletic linebackers in the country. We saw him out at the opening of an elite camp in Oregon where he ran a 4.39 40-yard dash on the Laser Time 40. He jumped close to 40 inches in his vertical leap. The kid is just an athletic freak, but he's also extremely physical. He's extremely instinctive, and that's why he has become one of the top targets for college coaching staffs around the country. We're talking Ole Miss, Alabama, Ohio State, Oklahoma. The big dogs are chasing this guy. But right now, it looks as though it's going to be a Texas A&M battle to the finish. Malik Jefferson's ranked as the #1 outside linebacker in the country. He's the #1 player in the state of Texas, and he's the number 13 player overall according to 24/7 Sports composite rankings. My name is Barton Simmons. This has been your 24/7 Sports Recruiting Spotlight.
All right, we've got good players all over the state of Texas. Malik Jefferson, one of those. Right now, you're taking a look at the Stevens Marching Band. We love to bring you the flavor, the band, the pep squads, the drill teams.
Northside Independent School District.
Let's turn it over to our PA dress announcer and listen in on the Stevens Marching Band.
The sound of Northside, the 2014 John Paul Stevens Falcon Marching Band. The band is under the field direction of drum majors Melanie Chavez, Sidney Lejeune, and Savannah Camacho. The section of the week is the Band Boosters. The students of the week are Isaac Johnson, Jackie Solis, Denise Tapia, and Brittany Baez. Tonight, the sound will premiere part 1 and part 2 of their UIL marching show entitled Once Upon a Dream. So, ladies and gentlemen, sit back and get ready to feel the sound. Here they are, the 2014 John Paul Stevens Falcon Marching Band.
What a performance by the John Paul Stevens Marching Band. If you'd like to vote for them in our band contest, just text BAND6 to 45203. That's BAND6 to 45203, or you can go to www.cw35.tv/TNL. Hey, it's 3-0 Buffaloes at the half. We're back with second half action, halftime stats, and much more when we come back.
Welcome back to the Bauman Automotive Halftime Show.
Welcome back to the Bauman Halftime Show. It's Clemens over Stevens 3-0. Let's show you some of our halftime highlights brought to you by JR's Plumbing. As you can tell with a 3-0 ball game, not a lot of scoring, no touchdowns. Both teams came out fired up and ready to hit each other. We had some early turnovers, and fumbles really plagued both teams early, Chuck.
Most definitely. Well, we talked about, Don, how physical this game has been. And really, you know, for Stevens, they've done a really nice job when they get out and throw the ball and they're running their sets on offense. And then, you know, had the one untimely turnover that's kind of put everything sideways for them. But again, both teams playing great defense. And Clemens, they preached that over there. Be prepared to win the game on the last play. And they didn't win the game yet, but they were prepared to take that lead with a late field goal there to end the half.
Alex Bridges with the field goal makes it 3-0. Clemens dominating the rushing yardage. Stevens throwing it better. Total yards, Clemens with 167 and 9 first downs. So they've really kind of dominated the offensive statistics, even though it's only 3-0.
Yeah, and Collins really got hot there late in the first half. 8 carries for 81 yards. But you got to look at some of these other guys. Edmondson, Warren, both of those guys providing a spark for Clemens there in the first half that really allowed that rushing game to get going.
All right, when we come back, we'll have the second half kickoff. Bobby Chacon trying to get the Falcons offense going. We'll see if he can do it when we come back.
Thank you for watching the Bauman Automotive Halftime Show. Stay tuned for the second half kickoff. Tonight's game in high definition is brought to you by Medler's Jewelry on Blanco, just outside Loop 410.
We're back on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. It's halftime between the Stevens Falcons and the Clemens Buffaloes. Let's head down to the sidelines and David Chancellor. Chance?
Coach, talked to Coach Daryl Hemphill, asked him if he expected a 3-zip ball game at halftime. He said, I honestly don't know what I expected. But he did say that he expected his defense to play better than they did last year when they gave up 48 points to Bernie Champion. So giving up only 3 points, they're obviously better than that. I said, are you discouraged? Was your defense discouraged that they the shutout is now over? And he said, absolutely not. They're upbeat in the locker room. And number 3, what's the one thing that needs to change offensively? And he said, we just need to execute the plays that are called. That's the bottom line. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks, Dave. Jeremy Collins and Sharon Warren back to receive the kick by Eric Pena. It's going to go to Collins. He picks it up at the 10. He waits, patient, finds a seam, knocked down right at the 25-yard line.
That's been kind of the theme for the night, these collisions, man. I mean, they're getting after it.
Ashton Smith laying some wood right there. You're looking at Frank Harris. He's only a sophomore. Young quarterback out there at Clemens High School. Great athlete, plays for Brandon Logan's basketball squad, AAU squad that played in Las Vegas last summer. One of the great 16 and under basketball players in the area. And a fantastic young man. Brandon Logan, Chuck, one of your Madison Maverick alumni. Heck of a player in his day. Hands off to Collins inside, right at the line of scrimmage. Ivan Drabowski there again. Teddy Britton in on the tackle as well.
Yeah, and you can see the poise of this Clemens team, and this is what served them so beautifully last week, Don. You talked at the onset against MacArthur. They were down 14 points in the third quarter and really just stayed the course, and that was the thing that Coach Johnson was really proud of these kids, that they didn't panic. They hung in there, kept doing what they did, and then, you know, 2 overtimes later, they're getting their first win of the season. So this is one of those teams that's methodical, it's big, We want to beat you up along the way and stay the course. And right now, they look pretty steady here in a 3-0 ball game.
Zach Pinkerton with the catch. Isaiah De Leon with the tackle. 3rd down and 3 for the Buffs. Harris sends Pinkerton in motion, fakes the handoff on the jet sweep, keeps it right up the middle and pays the price as Teddy Britton again comes up just laying some wood. Actually, again, that's Jonathan Solis, 8 and 9. Their numbers look so similar. They're playing right next to each other, and they both have been very impressive tonight.
Right next to each other numerically and right next to each other on the football field. Both of those guys have been playing on the other side of the ball for a good chunk of the night.
Still good enough for a Don Johnson first down for Frank Harris, who has Jeremy Collins behind him. Hands instead to Ellington. He gets the 40. He's brought down there. Christian Edmondson on the carry.
Run little counters and just kind of slow kill you, you know. And I mean, in a game like this, time of possession, you're trying to nurse that 3-point lead, see if you can do something with the ball, move the sticks a little bit, and never hurts to move the sticks and kill the clock while you're doing it.
Harris looking very poised on this drive. Edmondson again trying to get outside, and I tell you what, Adam Arguello has been everywhere. 3 straight tackles on this possession by him. Number 30, flying to the football.
You can see the athleticism that Stevens has on that side of the ball. I mean, they've got speed everywhere, size. And we talked about how big everybody is from Clemens up front. That was just a pure individual play right there, getting up the field and making the play.
3rd down and 6 for Frank Harris and company on their own 40-yard line. Quick pass, and it's knocked down by Britton. We had that one read from the beginning. We talked a little bit about him at the outset of the show. He is their Division I recruit, if you will, on this team. UTSA's already offered him. He's got some others looking at him. And Coach Hemphill thinks by the end of the season, he will definitely get some more offers. We saw him last year as a junior, Chuck, and I thought he was the best player in the game. They asked us for our vote in that San Antonio Sports All-Star game. I didn't realize he wasn't a senior. I said the best kid I saw all year was Teddy Britton. Alexander Bridges back to punt. And Tyreek Allen is going to let it bounce at the 20. It's going to take a Clemens roll inside the 20 and be killed at about the 17-yard line. We'll take a break. When we come back, it'll be Stevens' ball.
Closed captioning for tonight's game is sponsored by the Law Office of Anna Laura Hesbrook.
Darrell Hemphill's squad has the ball. 1st and 10 on their own 16-yard line. Bobby Chacon in the shotgun. Fires to the near side, and Tyreek Allen didn't really have his head turned around on that route. Still early in the season. Hemphill was saying, no question about it, we want to be executing by week 5 when we get into district play. And they just weren't on the same page there on the route.
Yeah, and I mean, those quick hitters, too. This is where this offense looks like it's the best. It's just a matter of securing the ball and getting it upfield.
Inside handoff. Picked up about 5 was Devontae Donald. Tristan Blake on the tackle.
And that was a nice run there, too. And that'll obviously help the passing game. If you get something from your run game, it's going to open things up on the outside as well.
There's Roland Vasquez on the carry. I didn't see a flag, but it looks like there's moving Stevens backwards.
I did not see one either, but with these old eyes that I have, not a surprise. That's what I'm leaning on you.
Let's listen to Lonnie. He's going to tell us what's up.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Well, maybe there was a reason that was why that was one of their best run plays of the day.
This is an important play in more ways than one. Field position could be key here with the way the wind is going. Hemphill not happy about his execution on this drive. Second down and 20 for Chacon. Hands inside again. It's Vasquez.
He's so concerned. Sorry, Don. He's so concerned about the way his offense is going there. I mean, it's just, you're really just trying to keep it out of your own end zone at this point.
Blake Price there to make the play.
And it's tough. You got the wind blowing, as you said. You're backed up. I mean, the last thing you want to do here is turn the ball over. You're still in this game, very much so.
Third down and 20. Chacon fires. It's caught. Across the 18, 19, around the 20-yard line. Joseph Kilby, one of the Kilby brothers on this roster. All had a couple of catches. Joseph has 2 catches for 31 yards coming in, so when he does catch the ball, he's at a 16-yard per. Nice clip. Darren Newbill is back, was on the coverage. But it's going to be 4th down, and so they'll kick it away. Cameron Cortez. Doing the honors. Nice spiral, comes across. It's caught at the 50, and then another huge hit. Teddy Britton. Oh, my goodness, on Pinkerton. I think I have our nominee for the collision of the game, boys, in the truck.
He's got several of those. He might have a top 5 by the end of the night.
I think ask Pinkerton who wins that one. Let's go down to the sidelines and David Chancellor.
Guys, look who I found. Our good friend Alana Sarabia from CW35. Not old. A friend that we've known a while.
Good, yeah. Well, it's good to see you, Chancellor. I've seen you for a while. Out here at Thursday Night Lights, this is my 2nd game to come to, and man, the energy is crazy.
What do you got? You got props. You have signs and bags that you're giving away to all the fans and everything?
You can't come empty-handed, of course. So I came with a sweet sign. I think half the stadium has now signed up to be a part of the CW crew, and I need everybody at home to do the same thing. So I am the CW Insider. That means I have a CW crew, and here's why you want to sign up. We're giving away a bunch of free stuff. So you text CW crew to 45203. Okay. You're in. It's all free, and we're going to send you text messages every now and then, giving you discounts here, discounts there, all for being a CW crew member. For instance, who is a Comic-Con goer? I know that you are.
I do like Comic-Con and the Star Wars stuff.
Well, we're giving away some tickets.
That makes me a dork, by the way.
And then I'm a dork, too. We can be dorks together. We're giving away tickets to the Alamo City Comic-Con. We have trips in the future, different tickets to different events here in town. We're just giving things away.
We're giving away things, so sign up for that. You can get, speaking of dorks, you can, no, I don't mean that. I'm going to look like it. It's in my contract that I have to wear these. Hi, guys, let's go back to you and sign up for Alana's deal. The CW Crew, text CW Crew to 45203. There we go.
Dave, I didn't think
I'm officially embarrassed. The wheels have come off now.
I didn't think you were a dork before that stand-up, and then you put the glasses on and confirmed it. Oh, we almost had traded turnovers there. Clemens lost the football on a fumble, and Stevens came up with it. Jonathan Solis came up with the football as just kind of got loose there, and a whole host of Falcons were in pursuit.
And then Alexander Bridges on the other end here for Clemens almost got him a pick back, got his team the ball back. It was a heck of a play just breaking that one up.
All right, 2nd and 10 for Stevens. Fire to Tyreek Allen. He's got speed, and he decides to lower his head and try to run over the defender. Again, another collision and some jaw-jacking going on there.
Tell you what, Norman Reeves had himself a ball game, got himself a pick, and then a little extra to finish off that tackle. But this has been kind of the story of the night. These defenses, everybody up front, there's been a lot of friction going on. And I'm not talking about just animosity. I mean, these guys are really colliding with one another.
I mean, this is the most physical game we've seen in a couple of years on Thursday Night Lights. Chacon running for his life, and he's sacked. Josh Barnes in again. Josh Barnes is doing a phenomenal job up front for the Buffalo defense, and Chacon is slow getting up.
Yeah, he took the brunt of that hit, and Barnes, a 3-year starter, as we talked about, a very talented, experienced player. And we're glad to see Chacon get up off the field, because that's no fun when you're headed down with that much weight pile driving you to the turf.
Yeah, and you know what, Chuck? He's holding that left shoulder, and that may have been the shoulder that went driving into the ground.
So another huge stand by the Clemens defense, Don. I mean, that's been the story of the night. You get the turnover, does Stevens, and you think that maybe that'll give them some life offensively, but nope, they just keep answering the bell time after time tonight.
Eric Pena's going to punt it away on 4th down. Pinkerton back to receive and bravely catches it as we take a break. It's the UIW Smile Cam. A lot to smile about for Clemens. They lead it 3-0. We're back with more after this. Welcome back to Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. You see Bobby Chacon being attended to by the Stevens training staff, putting some ice on that left shoulder. To take a look at the replay to see if that was exactly where he came down when he was tackled by Josh Barnes. 1st and 10 as the hand goes to Warren. He loses yardage. Again, good penetration, and Adam Arguello, who's been all over the place tonight, in on another tackle.
Yeah, and Ricky Rodriguez doing a nice job coming up from his defensive back position, setting the edge there and kind of blowing that one up earlier, at least helping to do so.
5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter in a 3-0 ball game. Clemens getting an Alex Bridges field goal right before the half. They've got 2nd and 12 here for Frank Harris, who throws, caught by Pinkerton, splits the defenders, crosses the 50, picks up about 8, and that's going to set up 3rd down and short. Adam Arguello with yet another tackle. And we've got about 3rd and, I'll call it 5. 4.5.
A nice route by Pinkerton and a great throw by Harris there. A little dig to get you some yards there passing the ball and make it 3rd and 4.
Pinkerton's been a great little contributor for them tonight. Oh my goodness, there's another massive collision. Tranowski is going to get the credit for the tackle up front, but I think somebody else came in there and got a piece of him.
It looked like he almost got tackled by his own guy. I don't know if one of his own fellas got shoved right back into him, but...
Or Luis Gonzalez right there, 48. I'd love to see that again. That was just bowling ball. Running straight into a brick wall.
We've seen a lot of that tonight. I mean, when you have a 3-0 game, folks, there's some defense being played. You can count on that.
Oh, my goodness, was that a hit. All right, so Alex Bridges back to kick it away to Tyreek Allen. Nice high kick. Allen backing up, taking it at the 20, and that's where he'll call a fair catch. And it'll be Stevens' ball there. And we're excited to bring you a new element to this season's broadcast. It's the San Antonio Sports All-Star Cheer Challenge. It's sponsored by CPS Energy. 8 local high school cheer squads are going to win the chance to cheer at the highest level on national television on NBC and News 4 San Antonio at the U.S. Army All-American Bowl, or our locally televised San Antonio Sports All-Star Game presented by HEB. That's both on Saturday, January the 3rd. Voting begins on September 18th. You can register now. 1st and 10 for Stevens. As Chacon stays in the game despite that left shoulder pain, running for his life and just throws it away. Nice play. He had a receiver in the flat, one of the Kilbys, and he just threw it right over his head to buy some more time. Justin Kilby, the intended receiver, but not really. He smart play by Chacon to just get rid of it.
Yeah, and you can tell that kid's tough because he doesn't look like he's operating at 100% right now, and you know, was able to kind of elude the pressure there early and then decided, you know what, I'm just getting rid of this thing. I'm not taking another shot. Very wise.
He's 11 for 20 for 81 yards as they go shotgun. Gave us a wildcat look there for a second. Tyreek Allen goes in motion. Chacon rolls right, throws right, caught out of bounds. Gain of about 3 to Ortiz.
Yeah, they had some mismatches here on the far side, but they just cannot get out of their own way right now.
Another penalty flag down. Lonnie Johnson with the call.
Illegal motion on the offense, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
You know, it's game 3, so these are the things you want to work out before you get into your district play. But I know Coach Hemphill, when he looks at this tape, is not going to be happy with the offensive execution.
Well, I mean, that was one of the keys to victory, that they really wanted to execute their offense tonight, and it has been a struggle. There's no question about it. But, you know, I think they're going to look at the tape. They're going to see some positives. I mean, that could have been a really big play there had everybody just, you know, done their thing without being penalized. But there they go right there, creating some mismatch opportunities. And if you can just do those kinds of things, you'll be way more successful.
Yeah, that play, they cleared some space underneath for Allen on a little staggered route. Alexander Bridges with the tackle.
And on the play previous, Don, it was the same thing. Every one of the Clemens defenders went to the other side of the field, and over on the strong side, if they had a kid running free, he actually kept on his route and ran right into the other defender who was covering one of the other wide receivers. But if he'd have just kept going down the field, he'd have been wide open for a pass.
It's 3rd down. They're only 1 of 8 on 3rd down conversions tonight, and that ball is almost picked. Just reading that perfectly was Brian Larson, who jumped the route and knocked it down. So it's going to be a little short anyway. That sets up another 4th down, and Stevens, quite frankly, just can't get out of their own end of the field. 1 for 9 now on 3rd down conversions.
You know, they started the game. It looked like there was a nice rhythm. The tempo was going. They wanted to work quickly. Everything was going. And then they get a couple of penalties, and really, I don't know if it's them or, you know, you've got to give Clemens a lot of defense, though, too. This is a lot of talent that they've had to stop tonight, and they've done it pretty well.
The danger here, though, is when you keep kicking it to a guy at the 50, you play that field position game, and eventually Clemens is going to take advantage of getting the ball in your territory. Pinkerton may do that right now. He picks it up on the hop. Pinkerton inside the 30, Pinkerton inside the 20, and down to the 15. Clemens will be in business when we come back. Welcome back to Thursday Night Lights. There's a shot of our Monarch trophies. We'd like to thank Monarch Trophy Studio, the awards leader since 1972, for providing us with the trophy. The winning team and the player of the game get trophies. They're custom designed by Monarch Trophy. If you're looking for trophies, plaques, or custom engraving, give them a call, 210-344-3777. It's a Don Johnson Realtors first down as Harris runs for his life, throws into traffic, and oh, that's a sophomore throw. He's going to want that one back. Not only did he have a guy out there that's hard to get, he had 3 black shirts over there that could have gone 80 the other way.
Yeah, he was feeling the pressure from his backside, and then, you know, it just isn't able to step into the throw. And I'm sure it was because he was feeling the heat. I would have gotten rid of it too.
2nd down inside the Six Flags Fiesta red zone. Hands it off to Collins. No, he keeps it. Harris going to score. Harris, touchdown, Frank Harris, and the Clemens Buffaloes are up 9-zip.
Well, it took a while, but we finally got our first touchdown of the night.
Well, nice read. I don't know if that was his option or if it was a fake all the way, but I think the Stevens defense bit on the fake to Collins, and then Harris did a great job of seeing where the holes were and then just got a nice loping stride to go along with that speed. The sophomore score.
It might have been the read option, but again, I think you're right. I mean, it looked like he was going to keep that one all the way, and he found some space and got into the end zone.
Bridges, extra point attempt is good, and so the Clemens Buffaloes lead Stevens 10-0 with 1:58 to go in the 3rd quarter. Frank Harris, we've seen that tough Stevens defense all day long, and finally the Buffaloes were able to break through.
Well, it's funny what, you know, you get from a special teams play. Get the nice punt return that sets you up, and then not too many seconds later, you're in the end zone for the first time tonight. So one big play begets another.
Yeah, the drive was only 2 plays, only took 11 seconds, 15 yards. And Chuck, we talked about it right before the punt that if Stevens is going to struggle and be penalized every time they get the ball in their own territory, back up to the 5-yard line, you're playing a field position game that eventually is going to jump up and bite you, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, now we'll see if things go from bad to worse. for Warren because your starting quarterback gets dinged a couple series ago, and now you've got a couple of guys warming up on the sideline. And, you know, we looked last series, Don, it didn't look like Chacon was really himself. Hopefully he's not hurt and he's able to go again, but they're definitely warming some guys up.
All right, time for our banner play of the game, and so far that's been Mr. Pinkerton on this punt return. Looked like he wanted to call a fair catch, saw what the defense was doing, so he just scooped it up, and I'll tell you what, he put Clemens in scoring position with a nice punt return right there. Now Alex Bridges will kick it away. Tyreek Allen and Ortiz will be looking to do the same. Kick is high and taken right at the 22-yard line. Looks like Jordan stepped out of bounds on the attempt of the catch.
Is that a flag down on the far side?
It sure is. And I don't know that if that means the kickoff went out of bounds and so you get the spot. What's the rule if the kickoff is out of bounds but somebody attempts to catch it while their foot is out of bounds? I would think you'd have to let it hit to see if it would hit out of bounds and not take a hop and come back in.
I'll wait and see what they rule because, yeah, if he kicked the ball out of bounds, then it's a penalty on Clemens, but it looked like he fielded the ball inbounds.
And that's what I'm saying. He was inbounds when he fielded the ball. Unless
kick out of bounds on the kicking team. Put the ball in play. First down.
All right, so they'll spot it at the 30. They're going to rule it kicked out of bounds. Interesting call. I guess if you catch the ball and you're out of bounds, it's kicked out of bounds. Or any part of you is out of bounds. Chacon still in there. Turns and hands to Vasquez. Almost crosses the 30. Another flag down. Joshua Crawl on the tackle.
Right on the play.
And we've got another penalty on the Stevens offense. It's a hold, and Darrell Hiffield's hat's about to pop off the top of his head with the steam that's underneath there.
You know, it's been really rough in that regard. I mean, they just are having to overcome too much.
10-yard penalty, first down.
Yeah, it's hard enough to beat this Clemens defense if you play well, let alone if you shoot yourself in the foot.
And it's been every series. Tell you what, I got a lot of respect for Chacon. That's all I'm going to say. He's still in there.
No question. His left shoulder's hurting him. Barks out signals, turns and throws as Ortiz, 5-yard out. Again, great coverage by Joshua Crawl, who's all over him after the catch. They're going to spot him for about a 3-yard gain, which will set up second down and about 15.
Now, Don, make no mistake about it. I mean, there's still plenty of time in this ball game late in the third quarter for Warren to pull off a comeback here, but they're going to have to at some point take some chances down the field. I mean, it's one thing when you're in a one-possession game, you know, to do these little quick-hitting type of plays, but, you know, you got to loosen up this defense a little bit.
Chacon rolls left. Blitz coming. Throws, caught by Jordan.
And you got to protect your quarterback.
Norman Reeves again on the coverage.
And Tristan Blake was back there. He had some help. These guys are getting after the quarterback. A lot of pressure from the guys up front tonight. Doing an outstanding job. Actually, both teams are.
All right, here we go. Third down. They're 1 of 9 on third down conversions tonight. They need this one due to the Stevens Falcons. Jordan comes in motion. Chacon, straight drop. Scrambles right. He's got Allen. Allen almost had the sticks, but lost his footing 2 yards short. Marking about 3.5 yards short, and that'll set up another fourth down. But in this situation, the Stevens punter, if they so select to kick it away, at least has some room.
Well, Chacon doing a really nice job there because, again, the pressure is on. And it takes a while for your guys to get downfield, and especially when you're looking at third and long like that, Chacon able to make something out of nothing.
They'll have some time to think about it. That's the end of the third quarter. The Clemens Buffaloes lead at 10-zip. We'll play the fourth when we come back. All right, time to look at our JR Plumbing's highlights. Just the one touchdown of the game. It was Frank Harris going in to give Clemens the 10-0 lead. Harris has 48 yards on 10 carries. And if there was any question about whether or not Stevens would go for it here on fourth down, they will not. They're going to punt it away. Nobody back for Clemens. They let it hop. And look at the wind. Take this one to the 40. A backwards bounce. And that's where Clemens will take it over.
Yeah, Don, you can't win the game right here if you're Warren going for it on fourth down. So yeah, I definitely understand the mentality, but you can certainly lose it if you don't pick it up. And Clemens is now starting to get that rhythm offensively, and they've scored points on 2 of their last 3 possessions. And coming off a touchdown drive on the last time they touched the ball. So Warren got to make a stand here on defense.
And you would think we would see a steady dose of Collins and Harris on the ground to run that clock. It's time now for our ASCO collision of the game. Brought to you by ASCO. If your business is building Texas, ASCO keeps you going, and it's Teddy Britton on Pinkerton right there on the punt return. Teddy Britton with another slobber knock, this time on special teams, and they've been doing it all night long on defense as well.
Great play by Luke Trevino on the last play, busting through there and really breaking that up right as it got started.
Harris has 2nd down and 7 for the Buffs. Fires to the near side to Pinkerton, who's got the 50. He wants to stay inbounds to run clock, and that's exactly what he does. Smart play. Teddy Britton coming over from his linebacker spot to make the tackle. But the clock will run, well, it stops on first downs. On our affiliated mortgage first down.
Malakeva Pearson's doing a nice job getting his feet back. His feet came out from under him, and he still got back into play and was able to make the tackle.
Clemens in no hurry. About 10 seconds left to go on the 40-second play clock. Time is on their side here in the fourth quarter, so Harris keeps. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. Arguello has about his 15th tackle of the game. What a great linebacking core they have. 8, 9, and 30 have been all over the place tonight.
Yeah, it's been a really strong defensive performance by both of these teams tonight.
Absolutely.
And a lot of friction, as we said up front. I mean, it's been a lot of fun to watch the battle in the trenches between the big guys.
Yeah, don't watch the ball. Watch the trenches. These guys are playing their hearts out. 2nd down 9. Harris keeps. He's got space to the near side. Harris to the 40, to the 35, and slides down and stays inbounds. Smart play, although the clock will stop anyway. Malakea Pearson with the force out, really a 19-yard scramble.
But yeah, they're going to wind the clock as soon as they move the sticks down, and that was a huge play. I mean, you don't see that very often, much less from a sophomore quarterback, the kid that has this presence of mind to, always be thinking about, if you just step out of bounds right there, you're going to give the other team at some point 20 other seconds.
Yeah, exactly. Really, really smart. That's an affiliated mortgage first down for Frank Harris. And he's got more yardage, and he's picks up about 5 there. In fact, Chuck, back to your point, I don't think that you even see that a lot of times by guys that are making millions to do the same thing.
No, you're exactly right. I mean, that's one of those things, even at the professional level.
You scream at the television because they don't do exactly what he just did.
That's exactly right. Or snap, you're trying to protect the lead, and you snap the ball with 16 seconds left on the play clock. I mean, it makes absolutely no sense. And we've seen that a time or two from Dallas over the last few years.
Oh, boy, don't get me started. Clock management is...
It's huge. I mean, especially when you're talking about the NFL level where most of the games are decided by 7 points or less.
Harris hands inside to Warren. Tranowski brings him down inside the 20 at the 18, and right now it just looks like Clemens' offensive line is starting to wear down that Stevens defense as they go inside the Six Flags Fiesta Texas red zone.
Well, they have been on the field a preponderance of the night. You know, time of possession obviously skewed way in favor of Clemens, but it's funny how that works, Don. You know, you give body blow, body blow, body blow for the better part of 3 quarters, and then all of a sudden, you know, it becomes a little easier to run.
Yeah, it's smash mouth football right now for the Clemens Buffaloes, and we've said it all night long. They've got the horses to do it. Harris, inside trap play, all the way down to the 1-yard line. And that's a new runner on the night. That's Charles Robinson, who's come in to spell Warren and company. And what a nifty play that was. A little fake and then counter.
Man, that was happening quick.
A little trap. All the way down to the
step,
1
looked like,
inch line. Yeah, sorry.
He was going to go the other way, and then next thing you know, you got 2 or 3 guys going the other way. You had the ball, the carrier, and 2 blockers out in front.
Harris steps right, steps in, touchdown, Buffaloes. Frank Harris has both of them tonight for Clemens. That one a 1-yarder, and that will just about do it with 7 minutes to go as Clemens will go up 3 possessions. Extra point will make it 17-0.
And look at the push by the guys up front, Don. I mean, there were guys that were already in the goal line. Some of those big guys up front, and really made a nice lane for Harris to take it over.
Yeah, might as well give him some props. Christian Howard, William Honaker, Tristan Robinson, Tyler LeBlanc, and Kendall Tyus have been doing a job all night long. All right, it's 17-0. The Clemens Buffaloes with the lead over the Stevens Falcons. Don't go anywhere. We've got 7 minutes of football when we come back. Welcome back to Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. Everybody out here having a great time as the Clemens Buffaloes lead 17-0. They capped off that drive of 4 minutes and 23 seconds. Went 8 plays, 60 yards, and Frank Harris has 2 touchdowns, both touchdowns, as the kick will be scooped up by Ortiz at the 15. Dances around a little bit, trying to break a tackle, but he's dropped inside his own 15-yard line. Brian Larson was in there.
And you have to be impressed with what Clemens has done here tonight, Don. I mean, we talked about it earlier about these guys working on a really short week. You go 2 overtimes late on Saturday.
Yeah.
And he said, the coaches over there at Clemens said, we're more worried about our guys getting on legs this week than we were anything else. And I think that's paid dividends. I mean, Coach Johnston's done a really nice job getting them ready in a very short turnaround to have this kind of performance.
Yeah, it was a thrilling double overtime win as Tyreek Allen takes the sweep, pushes his own man down and out of the way, and picks up 8. Nice job by Allen. That gives us time to tell you about thank Contractors Building Supply for providing that 44-foot scissor lift we're using in the end zone tonight. They've been with us from year 1 on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. Give them a call, 210-496-1227. And with the way the wind's blowing tonight, no thank you. No thank you any night, Mr. Cameraman. You're braver than, you're a bigger man than us. And Stevens has yet another penalty.
On the offense. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Well, you saw on the last play, Don.
That's 8 of them.
Yeah, Stevens trying to make a concerted effort to get one of their players involved there with all the speed, Tyreek, and, you know, it couldn't get him the ball throwing it, so they just had him on a little end around. I mean, guy's a special player, 100-meter track champion.
You pitch it to him on this play. He cuts it back inside, and he's dropped. Maybe a gain of, actually going to lose a yard, half a yard. Tell you what, the Clemens Buffaloes are smiling tonight, but Stevens cheerleaders smiling too. That's our UIW Smile Cam. Brought to you by the University of the Incarnate Word. Earn a degree of difference at the University of the Incarnate Word. 3rd down and 7. And as we've said, Stevens has had a hard time converting these all night long. Just 1 of 10. They get it out in the flat, dropped right there at the line of scrimmage. And again, you just got to credit the Clemens defense, Chuck, because they seem to know where the ball's going.
And they played sideline to sideline all night. I mean, this has been some kind of performance. Yes, you got to chalk some of it up to the fact that Stevens is having a hard time with the penalties tonight. But again, you're right. I mean, anytime you're pitching a shutout with this many explosive players on the field, and I'm talking about all the talent that Warren has on that side of the football, strong tip of the cap, no doubt.
Yeah, Clemens' defense has been incredibly strong. You know, they struggled offensively early in the game, but that's why coaches love defense, love physicality. You keep the other team off the scoreboard, eventually things may work for you, and that's exactly what happened. Well, there's a hit close to being late as Joshua Krall picked that ball up off the bounce.
That was actually way late, but I guess it's not a penalty unless they call it.
17-0, 4:58 to go. We'll take a break. We'll come right back. Welcome back to Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. The Samuel Clemens Buffaloes up 17-0.
Doing it.
The lead. 5 minutes to play. They're going to just try to run clock as they run Jeremy Collins right into the middle of the line, and he's doing a good job of churning right almost down to the 40-yard line. Let's go down to the sidelines and David Chancellor. Dave?
Yeah, guys, found our friend Jeff Howe from 27 Sports roaming the sidelines. See you from time to time at all high school games. A little bit of recruiting. Kind of tell us what you do with 24/7 Sports.
Yeah, David, well, we have a couple of different things we do at 24/7 Sports. We're the official selection partner for the U.S. Army All-American Bowl, so I'm out all over the state. It's a Thursday night. I figured why not just head down to Gus and catch a quick game watching Elijah Garcia, the defensive tackle from Stevens, who's Texas, Baylor, Oklahoma, sniffing around, giving them some looks. You know, Clemens has a couple of nice players, so not a bad game to catch on a Thursday.
And you have an eye in particular. Is it fair to say that you focus squarely on maybe the guys that UT is looking at?
Texas, Baylor, the Big 12 region, we've got all different kinds of reporters all across the state that focus on various conferences and regions, but mine's more so the Big 12, specifically Baylor and Texas.
They're asking me to ask you, and I don't need them to ask me. Teddy Britton, the linebacker that we've been watching, what's your impressions of him tonight?
Really good player, goes sideline to sideline, really like watching him play. He's a kid that, I found out about this week. DJ Allen, the kid from Brennan's another kid that, you find out about these kids, watch the tape. Just watching these kids on video, the way they can go sideline to stop the run, it's really exciting.
We had DJ Allen last week on Thursday Night Lights with Brennan. There, by the way, if you haven't seen them play in person, go out and spend the $7 or $8, whatever it is, to get into a high school game and go watch them. When you look at Brennan, Stevens, Steele, all the traditional powers in San Antonio, where are we? Where does San Antonio high school football rank these days as far as hotbeds?
David, I think you look back at that class of 2011, that 2010 season, it was a landmark year. You had Malcolm Brown at Steele, Johnny Manziel at Tivy, Mikael Thompson was at Stevens, Jason Morrow at MacArthur. So I think that season really kind of put San Antonio on the map that, yeah, you can find legitimate big-time Division I prospects in this part of the state.
I think a lot of folks that have lived here their entire life, covered high school sports, took offense maybe 15 years ago when certain publications said they're not as good. Dallas, Houston, yes. Central Texas, including Austin, yes. West Texas, yes, but not San Antonio. So from a national point of view, where you are watching state prospects, I think that's good to hear.
And David, I think what you guys are doing too with TV, what the Express News is doing, they've got one of the best high school staffs in the state. So I think the media coverage here and the exposure is a lot better than it was 10, 15 years ago.
10 seconds or less. Thumbs up, thumbs down on what you've seen from Charlie Strong so far.
Thumbs up, but it's going to take a while before we're talking about BCS or national championships and playoff appearances and Big 12 titles.
All right, guys, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Dave. That's an Affiliated Mortgage first down for Frank Harris and company. They're on the 35-yard line as Stevens brings the whole house on a blitz, and Garcia, the kid he was talking about, number 90, he says is being looked at by Baylor, Texas, and some others. You can certainly see that he has the size.
Yeah, and there's some other guys that showed up tonight. I mean, Jonathan Solis is another fella. He doesn't look like he's very small, and he played from sideline to sideline tonight, too. So, you know, we've talked about this off and on off camera. We really feel like this area down south goes vastly under-recruited. There's plenty of players everywhere.
You know, and here's the thing. What the big-time schools, the Texas, the A&Ms, a lot of times let's take, for example, Teddy Britton, who just blitzed right there and blew up that play. If a kid doesn't look the part, no matter what he can do on the field, they look at Garcia because you look at him and you look at his height and his weight. And this was so apparent when they first started bringing the Army All-American game here. You walk down on the Riverwalk and you go, oh, so that's what an SEC offensive lineman looks like. Because it's a lot different than what we see, you know, in San Antonio on a regular Friday night. 6'5", 285, that's fine. But you're not getting a look at the SEC unless you're 6'5" or 6'6", 305. And a lot of times these players like Teddy Britton, great athletes. He may end up playing at UTSA. He may be a stud somewhere at Sam Houston State or somewhere like that. But a lot of times really good football players get overlooked because they're just not a certain size. Clemens on top of Stevens, 17-0. Welcome back to Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. We've got about a bucket and a half left in this fourth quarter. Clemens has been in control ever since the second half. Collins loses his feet, and Teddy Britton again with just great penetration, and another tackle by that young man. Frustrating evening for him. His squad's down 17-0, but it doesn't stop the effort.
No, and Collins is one of those kids, too. I mean, that was a little bit of a rough series for him, but, of course, there was 11 guys in the box. But that was a kid that got better, Don, as the night went along. You know, he had a couple of early carries. Not much was working for him. They put another couple of kids back there to take some balls away from him, and he came out and ran with much more abandon the second time around, as if somebody was trying to steal his cookie. I mean, he was really, really good in the second half.
Yeah, and you know, also, Chuck, I know that you know that Darrell Hemphill's Stevens Falcons will bounce back, just knowing the character of Darrell and his squad. And again, he made no bones about it. We're getting better, but we want to be good for Clark in the kickoff of that district. And just the way Darrell coaches after his tenure at O'Connor and then now head coaching again at Stevens, his guys are going to be ready to play by district.
Yeah, as you mentioned earlier, Don, just one of the greatest guys coaching high school football in the region. There's no question about it. I mean, first of all, he brings a wealth of talent to the program. He's a former NFL player. And then when we were talking with him this week, he kind of laughed. He said, you know, I went from playing in front of 50, 60,000 people, then all of a sudden my first job is at Burbank. And it was one of those deals where I always wanted to be a coach, but I had to kind of rewire myself that all of a sudden I went from the NFL to high school. But he said, and he told me, and I thought this was interesting because obviously if you play at an elite level, and he obviously must have had some talent to get to the NFL, he always, always, always wanted to be a high school football coach, even when he was in high school. So this is exactly what he's doing. He brings a passion and a spirit to him every single day. He said his first high school coach was Frank Arnold. He took so much away from Coach Frank, who's at the SAISD as their interim AD.
Love Frank. Love Frank.
They got a player down, too.
Yep, we got an injury timeout. Big 66. Tracian Oliver is having a tough time getting up. It must be a cramp. Looks like he's cramped up.
But Coach Hemp giving also a lot of credit to Mike Honeycutt, who was his high school coach for 3 years. And, you know, going back all the way to Jefferson High School, Coach Hemphill knew that he was going to be a coach, and you know, he's done a really good job there, Don. You know, there's a lot of things going on at Stevens High School. That's a great campus, by the way. And I don't know if that baseball field might be the best one in town. It really shows up. And they do a really nice job there. But, you know, Coach was telling me this week, you know, there's a lot of kids on his team that are in single-parent homes. And so he's having to do some some parenting along the way too. Every one of these kids has his phone number. They can call him anytime. The morning I called him, he had a conversation with 2 of his kids, preschool, all these things that were going on in his life. So he's having to be a father figure for some of these guys too. And just, I got a really good sense of just talking to him how important his own father was in his own life. And, you know, not only setting boundaries, but giving him a lot of love along the way. And then also talking to him about, you know, he wanted to be a baseball player and a basketball player. His dad said, no, son, if you don't play football, you're not going to play sports.
Well, he made a good decision, made it all the way to the NFL. And going back to your point about local coaches, just the names you mentioned, when you say Mike Honeycutter, you say Frank Arnold, and that coaching tree that was out there at Judson with Frank Arnold going down to D.W. Rutledge, who's now runs the Texas State High School Coaches Association. And D.W. has really implemented a system statewide of his own philosophy that he got from Jim Wacker, that coaching to change lives. And these guys really are father figures. And you talk to any of these kids 10 years down the road when they're 28 instead of when they're 18, as Ortiz is targeted down and incomplete. The difference, that what they will tell you at 28 is if I didn't have Darrell Hemphill in my life when I was 18, I don't know where I would be. Instead, you're in the military and successful. You're running a company, you're successful. You've got a job and a wife, and you're a good husband and a good father. And if not for Coach Hemphill and others like him grabbing these kids by the neck when they're knuckleheads at 17 years old and putting them on the right path, a lot of them don't know where they would be. And he's, you know, I think a lot of these coaches see their job as almost a ministry of some sort. They're almost ministers. They guide, father figure these kids, mentor, and then in the football thing is just part of the fun and just really a small part of it when you look at the whole picture.
Yeah, I mean, I think both of these coaches do a wonderful job, obviously, doing that, because you're right. I mean, how many of these kids are going to get to play college football at the next level? Very few. Even fewer get to play at the NFL level. But the lessons that you learn working with other people, maybe some of them you like, maybe some of them you don't like, but you've got to learn to figure it out. And if you want to be successful, you've got to pull together as a unit, and those are some of the lessons that you take with you the rest of your life.
Well, Clemens and Coach Johnston do a great job tonight. They beat Darrell Hemphill's team, shut them out 17-0. The Buffaloes with 2 big wins in a row. MacArthur in double overtime. Stevens here on Thursday Night Lights. And when we come back, we'll throw it down to David Chancellor, and we'll do our Church's Chicken post-game show, give away our player of the game, and give the winning team those Monarch trophies when we come back. Thursday Night Lights, week 3 of this season ends with the Clemens Buffaloes in a 17-0 victory over the Stevens Falcons. Let's head down to our David Chancellor, who's got the play of the game, the player of the game, and the team of the game.
Yeah, guys, before we do our usual yell and scream and holler with these guys, just kind of a real cool moment. And I don't know how much you guys highlighted this, but of course, obviously on the 9/11 anniversary, but Clemens sporting the patriotic buffalo, and this is just so super cool. And the way they performed tonight, obviously doing this very justice. As for the Clemens Buffalo 17-0 winners tonight, guys, I say this humbly, you won a fist fight. How does that feel? Woo! I tell you what, we were here last week. We saw Brennan. That was a pretty good defense. You guys, I think you might have the best defense in San Antonio. What do you think? You got to ask it, right? You got to hear some yelling and screaming. Where's 7? Where's 7? What's up, player of the game? All right, you're the young guy.
Yes, sir.
You're the young guy. Let me ask you, you're watching this defensive battle. By the way, congratulations on the win, 2 straight wins. You're watching this defensive battle tonight, and you go into halftime up 3-0. As an offensive unit, what are you thinking? What are you telling your guys? More importantly, what's the coach telling you?
They just tell us to keep fighting. Defense did a good job. And offensively, we had to come back and respond, so we just put some points on the board.
When you got that first touchdown run, you're up 10-zip, obviously. How much confidence, not only just you, but as an offense, did you feel like the way our defense is playing, this one's done, this is over?
Well, that's not the way that we was acting. We thought, we didn't think we was going to win the game just because I scored, but big shout out to my old line. I couldn't do it without them.
Got to ask you, right before that touchdown run, I looked over, you were kind of giving a little limp. Now, was that a legitimate limp, or were you playing possum?
I hurt my ankle running the ball, but I was okay.
I think that means he was playing possum. 2 touchdown runs. The guys in the booth were going absolutely crazy about a run and a play you made in the fourth quarter. You guys are up. You're about to go in and score. You rip off this long first down run, and instead of going out of bounds and the clock stopping, you slid and the clock continued to run. A, do you know what I'm talking about? And B, where did you have the forethought, the clock management in your brain to say this is what we need to do, this is what's best for the team?
Well, I know that we were winning. If I stepped out of bounds, the clock would have stopped. So I just ran and just slid and not take a hit.
A lot of Cowboy fans are probably thinking, why doesn't Tony Romo do that? Frank Harris can do it. Cheap laugh, I know. You got back-to-back wins. What does that mean for you guys right now?
Really doesn't mean nothing. We're still going to keep on fighting. It's not going to change the way we come out and play next week.
All right, let's have this trophy. Frank Harris, our player of the game. Big congratulations. Come on in here, Coach. Coach Jared Johnson. Sir, let me ask you, defensive battle for most of that, well, the entire game, but that first half, is that the kind of game that you like?
Yeah, I always tell these guys all the time, if you play defense, you're special. We want to put our best players on defense, and they played lights out tonight. And, I'm more proud about these guys. We come off a double-time overtime victory on Saturday, and we came out here with 4 days rest, and we're able to get it done. Hats off to these guys and the coaches.
How difficult is that on a staff, on players, on trainers, basic mamas and daddies, everybody associated with the fact that you guys played well into that last game against MacArthur, and then you have to turn right back around and get ready for a Thursday night game?
What I did notice is the kids respond a lot better than the coaches do. They recovered a little bit faster than we did. We were still dragging, but these guys did a great job. They did what we asked them to do. A lot of ice baths, and we practiced the right way, and we're able to get the job done.
Obviously, I make the comment at the beginning, and it's to get a reaction out of your team. But when you talk about the best defenses in South Texas, San Antonio, Cibolo, all of the areas here that we cover, how important is that for you guys to be considered one of the top units?
What we want to do is get better every day. Every single day on Monday, when we go back to practice on Monday, we want to be better when we leave, and on Tuesday, and we'll let the cards, lay where they may.
It seemed like from the outside that your defense takes it personally if, forget scoring, if somebody gets a first down.
Yeah, these guys, they work their tail off. If you go watch us practice, it's start to finish, full speed, and the theme of the week was what? Hustle. That was our theme this week, hustle, because we knew that was going to be the difference in this ball game, especially coming on 4 days of rest.
I've known you for a long time. I've watched you coach at other places in the area. I know what you're like in running a program as far as an off-season program, and obviously now. This didn't start a week ago. This didn't start a month ago. What you're building right now, when did this start for you guys, and how high do you think this can go?
Well, we got several guys on this football team that start for us and play for us that were on our 0-10 team. And we tell them all the time to trust the process, and they're doing that, and sky's the limit. They just keep doing it.
0-10? That's a long time ago, isn't it? All right, I know district's coming up pretty soon. As you get ready to go, you got the 2 wins, the win over MacArthur, the win tonight. Do you just feel like you're just kind of picking up steam and going from there?
Yeah, we're just trying to get better every day, and that's the key. We got the next one on the plate is Coppers Cove, and we got them at our place. They're a great ball club, and that's our main focus. And after that, then we'll start district with the Jets and Rockets.
All right, I'm going to swap this out. I'll give you the trophy. You guys got a test? You guys got any homework? Go have some fun. Enjoy the trophy. Clemens Buffaloes, 17-zip winners. Let's go back up to you guys in the booth.
All right, Dave, thanks a lot. I never heard anybody call David Chancellor sir before. David just proves you're getting old. Clemens Buffaloes up 17-0. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll wrap it up.
Welcome to the Church's Chicken Postgame Report, presented by Baptist Emergency Hospital.
Welcome back to our Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights postgame show. Clemens beating Stevens tonight by a score of 17-0. Frank Harris, the young sophomore quarterback for the Buffaloes, our player of the game. And as you heard, Clemens really doing a great job after bouncing back from a quick turnaround after a Saturday night double overtime win over MacArthur. The highlights went down like this. Both teams came out fired up, but it was really a defensive battle. We had some sloppy play offensively and some turnovers that really hurt both teams early, Chuck.
Yeah, and really for these guys from Stevens right here, I thought they did some good things early. You know, they were doing a lot of quick hitters. They were trying to get their rhythm on offense, and then penalties, and then, you know, I know Chacon would love to have that one back. They just really had a hard time getting their rhythm. And then towards the end of the first half, Clemens was able to run the ball a little bit. They got the late field goal to take the 3-0 lead going into the half. They didn't do anything on their first drive of the third quarter, but then after that, they were able to loosen up Stevens just enough to finally get the offense going. And with the way their defense played tonight, you know, it was Katie bar the door.
Yeah, Frank Harris with those 2 touchdowns. Field position, a big key in this ball game, because I think we'll hear from Darrell Hempfield this week. He's just very frustrated by those 8 penalties. A lot of them drive killers there at the bottom of your screen. But Clemens dominated this game on the ground with 250 rushing yards to 44. Didn't have to throw it much. Total yards, they almost double them up, almost close to 300 compared to 150. And then look at the first down, 17-5. They just controlled it. Turnovers a non-factor. They wash each other out. But really, I think Stevens could have had a lot more going had it not been for those 8 penalties, because they came at key times when they got the ball going at third down. They would have had a 3rd and 1 instead of it's a 3rd and 7 or a 3rd and 6. And hard to convert, because on the night, they only converted 1 of 11 of their 3rd down conversions. And so you're not going to win too many football games doing that.
No, you're not. And really for Stevens, you know, it's one of those nights where, okay, you chalk it up, you're having a bad night, you're not really getting anything going offensively, but they really took a step forward, I think, defensively. That was one of the keys that Coach Hempfield wanted to see some positives from, and I think, you know, with the exception of getting worn down late, they were pretty good.
Yeah, they've got some players on that defensive side of the ball for Stevens. Hey, you can help a local school take home $2,500. It's the $2,500 band grant. It's based on votes, and your vote counts. Just log on to CW35.tv and click on Thursday Night Lights. The $2,500 TNL grant made possible by Vulcan Materials Company. Text Band 5 with no spaces to 45203 for the Clemens Band, or Band 6 with no spaces to 45203 for the Stevens Band. Taking a look at our final score. Again, it's Clemens over Stevens, 17-0. We'll be back with more after this.
Welcome to the Church's Chicken Postgame Report, presented by Baptist Emergency Hospital.
Welcome back to Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. Beautiful full moon and a beautiful night if you're a Clemens Buffalo. They beat the Stevens Falcons tonight, 17-0, and it's time for our College of Healthcare Professionals defensive play of the game. And no question, it was this right here by Mr. Reeves. Number 2 on the Clemens defense, going up and getting the pick and going down the field. Norman Reeves, one of the players that his coach talked about, has a chance to play at the next level, and Chucky made a great play on the ball right there.
Yeah, that was one of many big plays tonight from the Clemens defense, whether it was that pick or some hitting. I mean, they really showed up tonight very well.
That's our College of Healthcare Professionals defensive play of the game, and don't forget, we're excited to bring you a new element this season. It's the San Antonio Sports All-Star Cheer Challenge powered by CPS Energy. 8 local high school cheer squads will win the opportunity to cheer on the highest level, either the U.S. Army All-American Bowl or the locally televised San Antonio Sports All-Star Game presented by HEB. Both those games Saturday, January 3rd at the Dome. Cheer squads earn points in 2 ways, from votes cast by their fans online and from discount tickets that they sell to the high school all-star game. Voting begins September 18th. Register your cheer squad now. Coming up next week on Church's Chicken TNL, it's our first ever private school, Chuck. Antonian against Bernie. We were looking forward to seeing the Rosenfeld kid. Hurt his ankle last week. I don't know how long he's going to be out. That'll be a good ball game no matter what.
Looking forward to it all, Don. It was a good game tonight. Great defensive performance, but Clemens comes out on top.
All right, for Chuck Mikatinik and everybody working Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights, we'll see you next